Eagles. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to an Overreaction Monday here on Birds 365. JAKIB Nation, the Philadelphia Eagles are headed back to the Super Bowl, and they did it in record-breaking fashion, dropping 55 points on the Washington Commanders in a game that got out of hand pretty quickly, Johnny Mac. A statement win for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we are headed back to the Super Bowl, John, 2 times in 3 years, and the rematch is upon us. How you feeling on this Monday morning, Johnny Mac?
Doing well. Yeah. 2 and 3 years, Super Bowls, rematch. So everything is set up. A lot of storylines, a lot of ghosts to be slayed. Can you stop one of the great dynasties in pro football history? Try to stop Kansas City from being the first team to win 3 in a row. A lot of storylines to this game.
No doubt about it, man. The storylines are all over the place, man. But John, just first, let's recap, that game last night, man. That's an unbelievable performance that this team just delivered in the NFC Championship. I think easily their best game of the year. The offense clicked better than it has. The defense steps up again. Zach Bond is there anything? Is it possible to be better than an all-pro, John? I mean, this guy is unbelievable, making plays on the biggest stage. Everything was working for the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, Johnny Mac.
Yeah, from the first offensive play.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen soul stealing from teams at Lincoln Financial Field before in the playoffs. Minnesota, most notably in the 2018 NFC Championship game. If you go back to the wild card round, the Green Bay Packers, Oren Burks opening kickoff separates Keyshawn Nixon from the football. And then, yesterday, first play, crack toss, 60 yards to the house, and you're like, you got to be kidding me with this stuff. It's amazing, the execution, the home run ability of Saquon Barkley. Because, I mean, like I said, I've said it in the past, this has been a great running team for basically the entirety of the Nick Sirianni era. And the offensive line is a big part of that, and you see that execution. But the difference now between Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, that's probably a 25, 30-yard gain.
Yep.
And then he makes the spin move, and guys can't tackle him, and he breaks away for 60. And right there, I'm obviously a lot of things happened in that game. A lot of points were scored. But in the moment, it felt to me like, all right, that's it. That's it. You just watch Washington go 18 plays, 18 torturous plays, 54 yards. And it was so difficult and so plotting, and 2 fourth downs. And then Dan Quinn laid up instead of going for it, trying to seize the moment, and kicks a 34-yard field goal. And you say, oh, nice little start for the plucky Washington Commanders on the road in a difficult environment. And then one play, it all blows up. One play. And he said, all right. I mean, that was my feeling in the press box. This team can't compete. And that turned out to be the case.
No doubt about it, John. I thought about you for sure when I watched Dan Quinn pull up on that 4th down. I said, oh boy, I know Johnny Mac is going to be grilling him for that one. And it turned out to be just spot on where
the fact that he did it twice on the same drive.
And then you're like, at that point, John, to me, it feels like if you're at the 13 or the 12-yard line or whatever it was, 14 or 15, 16-yard line, that's more of a chance.
Exactly.
Because you're so far into enemy territory at that point. That's what I didn't understand about it. But a costly mistake, John, and then and a couple minutes later, it was 14-3, and it felt like the Eagles had, already were in a commanding control of the game.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, 3 championship games in 8 years, 3 Super Bowl berths. This is the best era of Eagles football in history. For those who don't know, unless you want to go back to 1949 and 50, with Ray Dinger will take you there. That's a little bit too bad. I'm going Super Bowl era. This is by far the best era of Eagles football. And this was the worst opponent they've had in the championship game. It was, from a talent standpoint, it just was.
Yeah.
But people don't remember Minnesota was a really good team that year. San Francisco was a really good team in 2022, 2023. This was like, this was a nice little story. Big upset against a banged up Detroit team. Things fell, but man, it really unfolded that way.
No doubt about it, John. 55 points and what I think was the best game
championship game record, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever scored more points in an AFC or an NFC championship game.
Just unbelievable. 50. I joked last night on the postgame show, John. Reminds me of my days at Alabama back when we had Nick Saban and we would put up 55 on Mercer. I'm like, this normally doesn't happen in the NFL, but pretty remarkable. 55 points, John. You just said it. Jalen Hurts, man. I mean, I'm going to just take this time to tip the cap because you talk about his relentlessness, but John, this dude shows up in big moments, man. He is cool as a cucumber, and he delivered, I thought, his best game of the year in the most important game of the year to this point, and I think he deserves credit from even the staunchest of haters. And John, you weren't on the postgame show. Brian Pumper dropped a $50 super chat at the start of the postgame show and said, all right, I will give it to him. Jalen Hurts deserves the love today, man. Unbelievable performance by him.
Even Brian Pumper.
Yeah,
wow.
Even Brian Pumper did it. And look, just your thoughts on QB1, man, doing that in such a big spot, in such a big moment. And you got to think, John, you always talk about the human element of this game, which is very important, especially for a guy like you who covers you know what I mean? It's not just a TV show to you. These are human beings, and it's got to feel good for him, man, to hear everything that he hears about this team and how he's pulled and he's carried and all those things, and to go out there and have that type of performance and that type of impact on the victory. It's got to feel good for Jalen Hurts. Your thoughts on what he was able to do yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, some of that is just silly, and I think Nick said it after the game, in that who was one at Jalen Hurts' level without a good supporting cast?
Yeah, great response by Nick.
And, he brought up Joe Montana throwing to Jerry Rice, and he can throw in Dwight Clark and, everybody else from that era. And if you think about Tom Brady and all the great players, the great defenses, but even on offense with Gronkowski and Edelman and Welker and Randy Moss at one point. It's like, who wins 17 games without a good supporting cast?
Yeah, it's true.
Point that guy out. So yeah, a lot of that stuff. But I can't stand, and you know this, I can't stand whenever, and you'll see it this entire 2-week run up. Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts. I hate when people boil it down to quarterback versus quarterback, because there's so many other players that will help decide this game coming up. There were so many other players that help it there. Everybody's got it. If you're 17-3 or 17-2 in Kansas City's case, you got a bunch of good players contributing to that, bunch of good coaches. So part of that is baked in. But on the other hand, I'll push back on he gets criticism. Other people, I've always thought that was bullshit. If you're a starting quarterback in the NFL in any city, whether you're good, bad, crappiest, best,
right,
you're under the microscope.
Yeah, I think you are right, but I do I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm so ingrained into the Eagles, but it does seem like there is a different NFL conversation.
Well, I do think there's a part to it that the Eagles fan base is so engaged and so passionate.
Right.
I think there's part of the national media, the people who have the biggest platforms, that say stuff for engagement, that to ignite the Philadelphia fans, to get more viewers, right? To get I mean, I do believe that's true. I do believe that's true. To a certain extent. But overall, you're an NFL quarterback, you're under the microscope. And from a local, because I think it's unfair, and I'll defend us from a local, like, we didn't stand and say passing. What's wrong with it? Passing? We didn't talk about Lane, we're giving you Lane Johnson's words, Jordan Mailata's words, Devontae Smith's words, Jalen Hurts' his own words earlier in the season. So, I mean, what was the difference yesterday? The passing game was clicking. Saquon's been there the entire year.
Right.
That's an average Saquon game, maybe a little above average from a yards per carry standpoint, but 118 yards, you get the
How'd you
point.
evaluate Kellen Moore in that game?
Well, I think Kellen Moore was Kellen Moore. The difference is it was successful. Like I said, why the receivers were wide open yesterday.
Right.
That
Did
I
seem like
mentioned
there were
that.
different route concepts, John. It did.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't seen the all 22 or anything, so I'm just speaking on what
I mean,
saw.
I obviously I have to rewatch the game, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think in game number 20 the Eagles unveiled a bunch of new stuff. The only thing new I saw was that little wrinkle to Dallas Goedert as a runner.
Jet sweep. Jet sweeps to the big fella. I love that.
But they've done jet sweeps in the past. It's just a different version. Even that's not really new. But just doing it with him. But nobody's sitting back there and say, all right, we're not doing, and I talk about this all the time because people expect that. And my best example of that is James Franklin against Ohio State, 4th and 4, and everybody lost their mind because he ran a zone read play. Well, that's what he practices. That's what he runs.
Right.
You don't sit there and play 19 games. Oh, all right, the 20th game, we're going to run a different bunch of route concepts against the Washington Commanders. No, they were successful. And that's when I always talk about play calls versus play results. No, they're not rolling out new stuff. All of it's been in the offense. Sometimes Billy Special, most famous play in Eagles history, at least modern Eagles history, that was in the offense for 10 weeks. They didn't roll it out, but they had been practicing it for a long time. That's not how football works. You don't just change. And again, the 20th game of the season.
Jalen did seem to, complete passes at a high clip. He was getting the ball out of his hands. A couple moments he held it, but I really thought he had a really good game. John, another guy I want to give credit to for this win and just for this season. And, I feel like he's become a lightning rod as well. And that's Nick Sirianni. I mean, you can collect great talent on football teams. There's been teams that have had great talent in this league many times before. Leading them and getting them to play for you and getting them to play for the guy next to them is a different beast. And you talk about this all the time when it comes to head coaching and how it's a leadership position first. And it's a lot more than X's and O's and play calling. In fact, that's probably the smallest part of it when you're a head football coach. And I think Nick Sirianni deserves a ton of credit, man. This team is clearly plays for the guy next to him, and they play for him. And I think Nick Sirianni deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point. In a lot of ways, he and Jalen kind of mirror each other because for whatever reason, you talk about Coach of the Year. He got asked about that question. Like he doesn't even get considered in those kinds of conversations. Which, why? I don't know. I can't speak for the people voting. Could be something as simple as personality. But, I mean, when people talk about, well, Jalen Hurts just wins. Well, Nick Sirianni just wins. Same thing. I mean, they just win. They find ways to win football games. And it looks different. He says it all the time. It's going to look different every week. He said, if you do listen to him, and I get it's hard because, when he talked about that, he gave me a great quote with that yesterday. And Connor Barr went to, the burden of leadership is repetition. You say the same thing every time. You drill the same thing every time. And you've heard it time and time again from Nick Sirianni, and people kind of tune it out. but it works to the people he's talking to.
Right.
I mean, you know, his numbers over 4 years are ridiculous. And to the point where we deal with it every day. I mean, let's be honest here. This doesn't happen in other cities. This kind of run, with the exception of Kansas City. It doesn't happen. I mean, I guess people get used to it. This is the third coach in NFL history to reach multiple Super Bowls in his first 4 career seasons.
Man,
He
he
is the first. He is the only coach in the Super Bowl era. The list starts and ends with Nick Sirianni. Make the playoffs 4 consecutive years and make 2 Super Bowls. That's it. Only one who's done it. He's already the first Eagles coach to reach multiple Super Bowls. He's only the 12th head coach to win 17 games in a season. I mean, he can't even get in the top 10 for Coach of the Year award. I don't get it, but because same thing. People will say, "Well, he's got talent." Well, he's got talent. I don't know who these all be all end all.
There isn't any. Andy Reid didn't win a Super Bowl for 21 years until he found Patrick Mahomes.
Andy Reid's got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and all these Hall of Fame players. He's got talent too. It makes no sense. Obviously you have talent that's baked into it. And by the way, Nick's the first one to admit that. He constantly says, "Show me a good coach, and I'll show you a bunch of good players."
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, he's done stuff certainly that's never been done in Philadelphia, but rarely been done in the NFL. In the case of one instance, again, through the first 4 seasons of a coaching career, no other coach has made the playoffs 4 times and made 2 Super Bowls.
Impressive stuff from Nick Sirianni. John, 2 more things I want to talk to you about, and then we're going to have Jeff Kerr coming up here on Birds 365. John, how about that defense? It's one thing to be the number 1 defense in the NFL in the regular season, but to come into a playoff game and continue to deliver the goods, John. I saw a stat last night that blew my mind. 3 playoff games, 10 takeaways, 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for success there, John McMullen.
Boy, man. Zach Bond.
I know.
I mean, he's got 7 forced fumbles on the season. He had another fumble recovery as well. The 3 fumbles, I don't know what it is about this team, because there's some randomness to turnovers. But in the case of Zach Bond specifically, I mean, Will Shipley forced the fumble on the kickoff. That's kind of all right. We don't expect that, but he's done it consistently. And they're just able, if you go back to the tone setters, Oren Burks, as I said, stealing the soul. Oren Burks has been great. It's like, who saw that coming? And there's 2 guys who I always say, I've been covering this league for a long time. And usually when guys have big reputations, and by usually I mean 95% of the time, they don't live up to the expectation, because people blow superstars into mythical creatures almost, and they're human beings. And it's almost always not quite as good as people want it to be, almost. In 2 instances this year, Saquon Barkley on the field and Vic Fangio off of it have outperformed their reputations, which is almost impossible because of their reputations.
Right.
And they've done it. it's, people should enjoy this journey, and I know, and I'm going to make a request. I rarely do this, but can we leave the officiating to the other shows? You can go on WIP and complain about that, and they'll validate you. You don't need an excuse. You're the better football team. Go out and beat Kansas City. Go out and stop them. That's it. Stop it. Go out and beat them. But I would say enjoy the journey while it gets to that point.
No doubt about it, man. I'm most excited for the great people of Philadelphia, John. A lot of people live and breathe this team, man. For the people that work the 9 to 5 who, struggle to find some joy in life and love this football team. Those are the people I'm most happy to. For the people who lost their father or their mother and the Eagles make them think of them, those are the people in the city that I'm most excited for because they love this team, John. And it's great for the players and the coaches, and I think they deserve a bunch of credit. But those guys are making millions of dollars. They're good, and it's great for them. But I'm most happy for all the great fans in this city. And we have a lot of them right here on our show. So we appreciate each and every one of you. John, you just brought it up, though. Eagles, Chiefs, Super Bowl 57 becomes Super Bowl 59. The rematch is upon us, Johnny Mac. We're going to have plenty of time to break it down, but what do you think? 2 weeks from now, the Eagles will take on the Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. Obviously, you have the greatest, one of the greatest. I'm not going to say the greatest because Brady and Belichick exist, but certainly one of the greatest coach quarterback combinations of all time, and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You got the Travis Kelce, so the Kelce effect will be involved again, and I'm sure Jason will be involved, and Taylor Swift will be involved. So you have all that hype.
Yeah.
Maybe the two best defensive coordinators in the NFL. And I think you're going to see more hype to Steve Spagnuolo, but I think Vic is better. But
wow, that's really a bold statement there, Johnny Mac.
I don't think it's bold at all. I used to, inside the industry, I used to tell this in the NBA. I used to tell people when Larry Brown was here, Larry Brown's a hell of a lot more respected as a basketball coach than Phil Jackson. People would lose their mind. Phil did a great job, but he went sort of superstar hunting and won a bunch of titles.
Right.
Larry was a kind of a weirdo, a basketball wonk, so to speak, and he just loved teaching people, coaching people. Like inside the industry, Vic's the guy in defensive football. He's been that guy.
Right. Spags has the success recently. Yeah. It's hard to dispute that. I mean, I don't necessarily think he's loaded with superstars. I mean, he's got good players. I'm not saying he doesn't have good players.
I'm not trying to disparage. Spags is great. I'm just saying in the industry, that's not even a conversation. That's all I'm trying to say.
Wow. So Vic Fangio is that respected.
Vic, that's what I'm talking about, his reputation before.
Okay.
How do you live up to that reputation? Well, he did. And he surpassed it here in Philadelphia. But ever since Chicago, I mean, everybody copies Vic Fangio. They don't copy Steve. That tells you, in the industry, when Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay and Matt LaFleur and Kevin O'Connell and Nick Sirianni talk about who's the most difficult to deal with, they all say Vic Fangio. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. Impressive. I hear you. I know what you're saying. Great stuff, John. Great opening segment here. The Philadelphia Eagles are headed back to the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. The Jalen Hurts haters are going to have to be quiet for a little while. The Nick Sirianni haters are going to have to be quiet for a little while. These guys, unbelievable performance yesterday. Really a historic performance. 55 points. I'll say that again. 55 points in the NFC Championship game. Unbelievable. We got some super chats we'll rattle off real quick, and then we'll get to the great Jeff Kerr. Jeff, I see you, brother. We'll get to you in a second. Brian Garner checks in. Vin Diesel said it best in the movie Riddick. Skittish, real skittish. Those are my thoughts after Quinn kicked a field goal on fourth down after converting it twice on the opening drive. Yeah, John talked about that one, Brian. Bad decision there by Dan Quinn.
Really bad. I think it sends just a bad message to your team. And then, it's magnified when Saquon goes off on the
Exactly.
first
Yep.
offensive play. So, yeah, really.
Yeah, and also to go 18 plays and end up with 3. Ugh,
Yeah.
that hurts.
And remember, if you don't get it, you have them backed up inside the 20 at the 16. So maybe
Right.
Saquon goes 84 on the first play. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
But,
who knows?
you're better equipped. So, yeah, I thought it was a catastrophic mistake by Dan Quinn.
Brian Garner again. I now live in the DMV area and drive past Washington's practice facility every morning and engage with their fans all day. It's going to be a great day today. It should be, Brian. They had a great season. I tip my cap to him, Dan Quinn, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, go easy on them. I mean, it's difficult.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear none of that, John. We are the kings of the NFC until further notice, all right? Niall Christian.
Well, it's going to be a while before they're not kings of the NFC.
That's true. Now Christian says Dickerson and Cam showed a lot of heart. Agreed, man. Those guys are great.
Yeah, we got our own Cam Jurgens coming up, and Jeff Kerr, who played through pain to get through the NFC Championship game. But
did he? I'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah, Cam. Yeah, I mean that was something because that was the whole story pregame, and it became clear he wasn't going to start, and then we're all assuming he's going to be inactive, and he's not inactive. And they dress him as an emergency. And sure enough, Landon Dickerson gets hurt. And by the way, that's something to keep an eye on.
Yes, it is.
He is a tough dude. And the fact that he didn't come back in that game. Now you have the extra week, obviously, so that helps. But that's something to keep an eye on.
No doubt about it. Josh, nope, Man in Black, my bad, didn't read yours yet. If you play like you did, if you play like you just did and tell refs can't control the outcome, plain and simple, if we can play clean in the divisional game, playoff game, we can again.
Oh, yeah. They play like they did. Anybody complain about the official? Well, probably some people, but actually,
yesterday we got come on.
Actually, most of the stuff went the Eagles' way.
Yeah, I thought so.
When you beat somebody like a drum, yeah, the officials don't matter. And I saw John Gruden, whatever John Gruden's doing now. I think it's Barstool.
Yeah, it's Barstool. He's hilarious.
So one of the Buffalo fans called up and said, they started complaining. And John was like, and God bless him as a coach. He's like, if you can't get 1 yard, and not 1 yard counting on the official, you're going to get a bad spot. And so basically he said, do better. Don't put it in their hands. How about that? Which I agree with.
Yep, no doubt. Well, last super chat here, then we'll get to the break, get to Jeff Kerr. We're just going to go to the live read, and then we'll get to Jeff. Josh B says, just wanted to shout out J-Mac for helping me find Jacob. A lot of those people, Josh B. J-Mac at question at the press conference always stood out. And one of the times Sirianni said something about Jacob. You're a legend, John. Did Sirianni mention Jacob at one point?
I mean, he mentions my name, but
right.
No, I don't think he ever mentions his outlets. I could be wrong, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going off what Josh said in the super chat. But Josh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's get to our quick live read. First thing I want to tell everybody is we got a big 2 weeks as we prep for the Super Bowl. All right. And I'm going to try and give as much back to the great people of JAKIB Nation as I possibly can. Yesterday, we got our record in super chats on the postgame show. So I'm going to go and take that and use that to pick up some more Eagles merch to give away to the great people. So we'll be doing giveaways every day for the next 2 weeks. All right. So if you're not a member, get your memberships in here on JAKIB Sports. And we appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Brandon Howard, Bobby Murphy, Jeff Martin, Flexing and Steppin, Josh B. What's up, everybody? It's good to see all you guys. Fly Parks, Niles in here, Abe's in here. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. TK, Izzy B, appreciate all you, Bird Gang Girl. We appreciate all you guys, man. So it's going to be a fun 2 weeks. I can't wait to do it and prep with all you guys for the upcoming run to the Super Bowl here. Let's get to it real quick. I'm going to give you guys a live read for BetUS, and then we'll get to our great Jeff Kerr coming up next. All right, you can see the promo code I put on your screen now. It's BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa and use this promo code. It's YouTube 150. I've been telling you it all year, and I'm curious to hear what you guys are thinking of putting on the Super Bowl. You taking the Saquon over, the Jalen Hurts over. What are you taking in this game? Go to betus.com.pa. Use the promo code YouTube150, gives you 150% sign-up bonus on your very first deposit, and you get 125% on your second and third deposit, all up to $2,000. So deposit less and bet with more at BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa. And a big thanks to them for sponsoring the 2-hour show today. Let's get to our main man from CBS Sports, Jeff Kerr, joining us now on Birds 365. Jeff, a nice new setup for you, brother. Good overreaction Monday. The Philadelphia Eagles are NFC champions, Jeff, and going to the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. A remarkable year and a remarkable journey, which will now end in Super Bowl 59 in 2 weeks from today. How you doing on this Monday morning, Jeff?
Beat the dragon. You got to slay him.
It's great. Great first comment by you.
Rick Blair rules, baby.
Also, I'm going to put this out right now. I don't want to hear one single person blame the officials.
Oh, you're going to hear it all. You're going to hear it for 2 weeks, dude.
Well, that's loser mentality. It really is.
I agree.
Like Commanders fans blaming the 4th and 5 pass from Hurts to Browns. Oh, Saquon was holding. Yeah. Did you guys seem to forget you gave up 55 points?
Boy, I didn't even notice Saquon holding. I have to rewatch the game. Obviously, I haven't.
Look, here we have a couple resident Commander fans here, but look, this is Brian Harding checks in. Still a Commander fan around here, fellas. Good God, did it have to be 55?
But I will say this. There have been a lot of Commanders fans that have been civil, I thought, throughout the week. It was the younger fans that they don't know any better. They don't know what a joke their franchise has been for 35 years that actually thought they were going to come in here and beat the Eagles. And I said all week, look, the Eagles almost beat them, should have beat them, with a backup quarterback running a starting quarterback's game plan. So,
I firmly thought when there was concern over Jalen, I thought not that it would be easy, but I thought they could win the game with Kenny Pickett. I still believe that.
I still believe that too. I agree with you.
So yeah, I mean, on that 4th and 5 play, and I don't know, maybe I didn't notice it, but again, I have to rewatch the game. Maybe Saquon was holding. Again, they're human beings. Some calls are going to go your way. Some calls are not. Cover AJ on the go route.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, money throw from a quarterback
great throw.
That people say can't throw.
Great throw. Great catch. And yeah, I think AJ heard some of he's having a bad playoffs. I mean, the first play. The crack toss. The crack was AJ, who knocked the edge rusher off his feet.
He said he knocked 3 defenders down.
He bowled over Bobby Wagner as well because Bobby Wagner tripped on Dante Fowler. I mean, that was AJ on the crack toss. That's a wide receiver.
I mean, I'll tell you what, AJ Brown, the Eagles embody being physical. No, I don't think anybody's more physical. There are a lot of physical players on that team, but with the position AJ Brown plays, I don't think anybody's more physical than him. If you're just combining players,
there's a lot. There are a lot of physical. A lot of teams talk about being physical. The Eagles really are physical.
Yeah, so true.
There's so many. Landon would be at the top of my list. Landon Dickerson just beats people up. And that's a big injury to keep an eye on to see what happens there. But
it takes a lot to get Landon Dickerson out of the football.
Yeah. AJ's very busy. Zach Bond, man.
Even Saquon's really physical,
Saquon.
Oh, yeah. He had a couple.
Here's the thing, and you're Saquon's PR representative. So I'm gonna give my kudos to Saquon. And I said it, and I don't know if you popped on that early. And you've been around this league now long enough to know this too, as well, Jeff. People build up superstars to such a level that they never live up to the hype because they can't, because they're human beings. He's surpassed the hype somehow. You never see it. Well, you see it. You rarely see it. And I say the same thing with Vic Fangio on the coaching side of it. Like, his reputation was so ridiculous. I'm like, I go into it. This guy's not going to be as good as his reputation. He's been better. Yeah. Same thing on the field with Saquon. That's what I said. There's no freaking way this guy's as good as reputation. Well, I just saw 6 years in New York, blah, blah, blah. I said it all off season. He's better. I admit it. He's better.
One of the things I'm getting a lot of flack for right now, because I do an overreaction piece every Sunday. And one of my overreactions was, and I said it wasn't, Saquon Barkley's having the greatest season for any player in NFL history. And people are just ripping me apart saying Terrell Davis, Terrell Davis, Terrell Davis. I'm like, oh, hold on a second. Saquon Barkley's 30 yards away from passing Terrell Davis. He's 3 yards away from passing Terrell Davis from yards per script. If he gets that and the Super Bowl, I don't know how you argue it.
Well, there's a lot of, I mean, greatest season of all time. There's so many quarterbacks and, you got to go back to Jim Brown and all that stuff. But I'll just say he's already one of the greatest seasons of all time already. I mean, if you're in the conversation, that to me is good enough, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I still look, I didn't have an MVP vote this year.
I did.
Yeah. Did you vote for Allen or Jackson?
I'm not allowed to say, but
Okay.
I can say
After it releases, right?
Yeah, after it releases.
Yeah, after it releases. Yeah, that's right.
I can say that Saquon was in my top 5, but that's all I can say.
I knew he was going to be top 5, but just from talking to him, talking to enough people around him, I think he's taking a little personal that he wasn't picked. I think he knows.
Well, it's a quarter. I've warned fans on this show. It's a quarterback award. Understand 2 things. First of all, number 1, forget about the playoff stuff because it's a regular season award. Number 1, so it doesn't matter. Even he's phenomenal in the regular season. He may deserve it from the regular season, but again, people will point to look what he did in the playoffs. That doesn't matter. Number 1, so forget that. So that and it's a quarterback. He is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. That's the award for Saquon Barkley that everybody should be focused on. And I'm very, very confident he is going to win that award. MVP is what it is at this point. It's best quarterback.
Which again, I think you gotta make exceptions to that rule in certain times. I thought this year was one.
And there has been in rare occasions, and this certainly could have been. And that's why anytime you see a running back or a wide receiver in the top 5, that's validation. It really is, whether people know it or not.
I mean, I don't think Jerry Rice ever won MVP. I gotta look that up.
Because, well, I'll say this. I guarantee you that top 5, and they already announced the
the finalists.
They announced the finalists. The other 4 are quarterbacks, I believe. Yeah. I mean,
Goff, Allen,
Lamar,
and Burrow.
And Burrow.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only non-quarterback in there. That should be validation and understand what kind of
I still think it was crazy. I had a conversation with Bill Cowher this week, just previewing the conference championship games, and he just said it unprompted. And I'm switching sides of the ball here. He goes, Jalen Hurts is Defensive Player of the Year. You know that. And I'm like, well, Zach Bond's a finalist. He said, I said what I said.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Jalen Carter allows Zach Bond to create a lot of plays like he does. Is that fair to say?
I think it's more fair. Well, he complimented both.
Right. Well, they both deserve compliments because
Jalen Carter is the most talented Eagles defender. Zach Bond had the best season for an Eagles defender.
Yeah, and he did say, like, look, at the finalist, Zach Bond should win. But
yeah, he's not going to win it either.
No, he's not going to win it. That's what I would say. I'm like,
Jeff, I want to ask you about QB1, man. Jalen Hurts. Look, love him or hate him, the guy is a lightning rod in terms of talking points around the NFL. How much did that game mean for him yesterday to be able to deliver a performance like that on such a big stage? Obviously, he's got one more left in him, and if you know Jalen, you know that he's already focused on that one and wants to win that one. But just your thoughts on Jalen Hurts and what that game yesterday meant for him as he's now becoming I mean, call a spade a spade. He's the second most successful quarterback in the NFL in the last 3 years behind Patrick Mahomes.
I mean,
no other quarterback has had success like Jalen Hurts has. That's a fact. Whether you like him or you don't like him, your thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
There's only been 8 quarterbacks to go to 2 Super Bowls in their first 5 years, and the other 7 are Hall of Famers or are going to be in the Hall of Fame. One's Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is in that category. Love him or hate him. You know, and Nick Sirianni said it best yesterday. Joe Montana had Jerry Rice. Like, you know, why are we punishing guys for having great players around? And Jordan Malott gave me an awesome quote yesterday. My column was on Jalen and how he shows up in these big moments. And I asked Malott about that, and he goes, you know what? He'll never admit it, but he does hear what people say about him, especially the doubters. And he's one of those watch this type people.
That's fine. I always say use the fuel, use whatever works. Like, you know, I know our buddy Mike Sealski put out his column, which the Eagles are not underdogs anymore. Well, they aren't, but they are for this game.
They are for this game.
Even though they shouldn't be because of the Chiefs' reputation. They'll use that. Use it. You know, you're actually the big bully on the block. You know, obviously they destroyed Washington. Washington doesn't even deserve to be on the same field with them. But everybody's got this underdog mentality in Philadelphia. This team is rarely the underdog. So that, but if it works, use it. And that's what I'm saying about Jalen Hurts. I don't think people treat Jalen Hurts unfairly. I don't. I'm sorry. You know, every quarterback, the only slight difference is I do believe some of the national people, and you know the names. I'm not going to say the names.
Yeah.
Use the Philadelphia fan base because it's so passionate. And they know if they say something, it'll create engagement, yada, yada, yada. I do believe there's some of that. But you know this, Jeff, because you cover the league as a whole. Every quarterback, the good ones, the great ones, the bad ones, are always under a microscope in their particular city. Every single one of them.
My philosophy has always been on Jalen, and I always have a lot of numbers to back up why he wins. That's why I do it. It's why he wins. But look, if someone wants to tell me Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, I'm not going to argue with them. But Jalen Hurts outplays these guys. He outplayed Jaden Daniels. He's outplayed Joe Burrow. He outplayed Josh Allen last year.
He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl 57.
Yeah, but he had the one thing he did. He fumbled. That was the one. Mistake.
But that doesn't mean, like, Patrick Mahomes occasionally gets outplayed by the other quarterback playing him. It doesn't mean the other quarterback is better than Patrick Mahomes.
But on that day, that's what I'm going with. When you play the one-on-one game, he seems to come out on top.
John, I hear what you're saying about every quarterback's in a microscope. Go in Baltimore right now. They're all talking about Lamar Jackson. I understand. You're right about that, but I do think there is a question about Jalen that's a little bit different than those quarterbacks. I've done this too. So I'm guilty of it too. You know, can Jalen Hurts throw the ball to win the game? If you know, can you take away Saquon and make Jalen Hurts beat you? A lot of people say that a lot about Jalen Hurts, and he takes it as a slight on what
Washington dared that yesterday, and Jalen Hurts goes 13 of 16 from the pocket on him.
Well, again, if it works, use whatever you need to use. But again, you know, I'm not going to lie to people and say Jalen Hurts should be in the conversation with Lamar Jackson as a quarterback. And
he's not in that conversation.
And people
but
can
he wins
bring
more
up
than Lamar, and Lamar wins a lot.
And that's my point. People, there is a supporting cast. One of the things I hate is when people boil everything down to quarterback versus quarterback. There is a lot of people trying to win a football game, and a lot of people contribute to winning a football game. It isn't quarterback versus quarterback. So when people say Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, well, again, you can bring up all the wins and losses, and the Eagles are playing, and Joe Burrow didn't even make the playoffs. You can't put people in the vacuum, but you give them the exact same supporting cast, and Joe Burrow's probably going to be better than Jalen Hurts, and that's why people say it. That's why people say it. I asked you, Jeff Kerr, Joe Burrow, not even a playoff quarterback. Is he a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts?
Absolutely.
Well,
I'm not going to debate that. Like, and that's fine to admit. Like, but I can also, I also hate playing the if game too, because if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. But that's I've heard so many if stories this season.
What's her pronouns?
Now you get me going.
Oh, we're off the rails early on a Victory Monday, everybody.
No, well, I just mean I try to elevate the conversation.
Yeah.
All right. It's not who has the most Super Bowls. Tom Brady broke everybody because what he does, and to a certain degree, Patrick Mahomes as well, is not normal.
Yeah. So yesterday, I was actually in the CBS Slack room. A couple people. I don't know if it was. Yeah, I think it was one of the others who goes, if you listen to Brady deeply, remember, I'm not listening to the game. He really don't like the way Jalen Hurts is. And I said, you mean the ultimate game manager for 5 of the first 7 years of his career doesn't like someone who game manages? Isn't that rich?
Were you next to me when Brady came down? Brady walked right by
I was
us.
next to you. Yep.
Brady walked right by us, and there's this weirdo. I don't know. I don't.
The security guy?
Yeah. This weirdo security guy acting like he's, I don't know, Queen Elizabeth or something. I'm like, yeah, we're fine. We've seen Tom Brady in the past. We're not gonna.
He don't need a credential.
Yeah. Anyway,
he actually went to me. He goes, "You don't look like your picture." I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I just took that picture."
Yeah, we've seen Tom. We're not starstruck.
Yeah, we know who Kevin Burkhardt is too.
Yeah, unfortunately, for Kevin. But
they're calling the Super Bowl, right? It is them on Fox.
Yeah. They're calling the Super Bowl.
Which is weird because Tom now owns part of the Raiders as well. But yeah, Tom's always at the Super Bowl. He's still at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and he broke a lot of people. But overall, that game, Jeff, I go back to the dichotomy, and I want to get your thoughts on 18 plays, 54 yards, 2 4th down conversions. Then all of a sudden, Dan Quinn lays up at the end.
Yeah. Why? You went for it on 4th and 2. Why not go for it on 4th and 3? What's the difference?
At the 16-yard line.
But Jaden Daniels is your quarterback.
And at least if you don't get it, you haven't backed up. You have to score touchdowns. I for the life of me, I'm sure Dan Quinn got asked about it. I didn't read Dan's transcript.
He did. I didn't hear the answer, but I was reading the.
I just don't understand these coaches on the road in Philadelphia. On the road in Philadelphia. You got to be bold.
By the way, didn't it feel like the Eagles offense, a couple of the guys I asked, didn't feel like they took it personally what Joe Witt said this week?
I don't know why they would. Boy, I thought that was overblown.
It was. I didn't even write a story on it. I'm like, I don't care. It's fine. But why would you give anybody motivation?
That's what I didn't. That's what I thought. I'm like, what he said doesn't stick out to me.
You know what? And
choosing to say it is certainly a choice in that spot.
This is my prime example, and I'm going to go back to a Penn State thing here. When James Franklin literally said to Marcus Freeman's face, Notre Dame should be in a conference. You do not say that. You just don't. Even if you're right, you don't say it.
Yeah, but here's the difference. James Franklin did it like unabated, like he wasn't prompted. Witt was asked a question. He was answering a question. And to me, I think most people don't understand the rule. The rule is when quarterbacks turn into runners, they lose their extra protection. You're supposed to tackle the quarterback like a running back, which is what he was trying to impart. It's the rule. You're allowed. You're supposed to. They don't have any. I think most fans don't realize, and they'll say because of Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
you do not have extra protection as a quarterback when you are a runner.
Know why I feel Eagles fans feel that way when it comes to their quarterback getting hit out of balance? because growing up, I've seen certain quarterbacks for this franchise get absolutely screwed over when they are out of balance, and I mean out of balance, and they get hit. And Donovan McNabb was the #1 culprit of it.
Well,
for years.
I mean, you could point to bad calls by officials, but bad calls are bad calls.
Yeah.
They're
and
not.
I never blame the officials for it. I'm just like, come on, like the guy's way out of bounds. That's why I had no problem with the Sandstrom Saquon Barkley thing yesterday. I'm like, oh, they're finally calling this stuff.
Well, that was a bunch of Eagles talked about their emotion. They were too emotional. And the Eagles that was one of their things Nick Sirianni stressed: execution, not emotion. And Washington came in as this overly emotional team, and Lattimore fell apart, and Sandstrom fell apart. Really, the end of the half, it was 14-12.
Yeah.
That's the other key point of the game. It was 14-12. The Eagles were facing a 4th and 5 from the I believe Washington 45. 4th and 5. Could have punted it away, flipped the field. Braden Mann's a good punter, probably pins him inside the 10. Eagles go for it. By the way, where are all the take the points, split the field people? Eagles go for it. That's the go route to A.J. Brown, the 31-yard go route.
That was the turning point of the game.
80 seconds from that play, it went from 14-12 to, I believe, 27-12 in 80 seconds. That was the game.
Yeah, because after that was the forced fumble, right?
Yep, on the kickoff, on the ensuing kickoff. They completely fell apart. And over that span, they had 3 big penalties. They had the 16-yard pass interference on Lattimore in the end zone, which was, by the way, on a 3rd and 13. So they were on the verge of holding the Eagles to a field goal if this moron, who, by the way, is a veteran player, just plays with more discipline. And then they had unnecessary roughness calls on Lattimore again and Sandstrom, both corners. It was a really bad game for the Washington cornerbacks. Really, really bad game.
Yeah. Like, for whatever Washington's defense thought they were, they clearly, I mean, you knew they were the weak link of this football team. I really did. I talked to enough people in that locker room the last time they lost to them. But, they didn't say it out loud, but they really believed they were going to put up 50 against them the last time they played.
I never expect anyone to put up 50, but
I think that's how they felt the game was going when Jalen got hurt. And it wasn't a knock on Kenny, because they still put points with Kenny, but they knew Kenny was running Jalen's game plan.
They put a ton of points up with Kenny.
Should have won.
33, I think they had in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, Devontae knows he catches a pass.
Jeff, I want to ask about Nick Sirianni, man. He's another guy that I feel like has become a debated lightning rod in the league, where other people don't like him. Some people love him. Your thoughts on what this means for him and what his legacy is going to ultimately be? 2nd Super Bowl in 4 years as a head coach. Pretty unbelievable stuff. Obviously, we talk about the winning record all of the time, and I know he's got great talent, but there's been a lot of teams with great talent, man. He's clearly a great leader of men. And has this
Matt LaFleur has great talent.
Yeah, everybody's got. I mean, come on,
never been here.
NFL, man. There's a lot of good
By
talent.
the way, who was the toughest opponent for the Eagles in the playoffs? Because I think it was Green Bay.
I think it was Green Bay.
I think it decreased. The toughest was Green Bay, then the Rams, then the Commanders.
Yeah,
I think it
bracket
decreased
fell their
as
way.
it went on. Yeah.
I think with the way the games now, with the benefit of hindsight, I think the Rams played them the hardest, obviously, because they were in that game with a chance to win at the end. The Packers were not, and obviously the Commanders were not. But I do agree on paper that Green Bay is probably the hardest.
Well, I thought at least the Green Bay defense did some decent things.
That's true.
They took away.
I think the Eagles kept the Rams in the game. I truly believe that.
The elements playing a factor too. I mean, The Rams could easily won it. They intend to roll over twice.
That's true, but you have Jake Elliott missed, extra points. You have not being able to punch in the football from the one, from a false start. The Eagles, a lot of unforced errors in that game.
Yeah.
That's why I think Green Bay was a little bit. I think they played them a little tougher, even though the score wasn't as close. The Rams were sort of like just scuttling, and we're lucky to be in it at the end, but they did have a chance to win the game, no question about it.
But, Zander, to answer your question about Nick Sirianni, this is why I think him and Jalen Hurts can bet. Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell, they were the two that everybody kind of laughed at when they got hired. And they were
true.
And with their opening news conferences, they both took different approaches, but everybody's like, is this team serious right now? Like,
Right.
This is the guy. And this is where I'll correlate it to Jalen Hurts. The pundits cannot admit they were wrong. Like, they cannot admit the guy that got benched for Tua in the national championship game is a winning quarterback. The same way people can't admit the guy they thought was the worst head coaching hire was the best. So they'll go to great lengths to just kind of, bemoan him. So, same way with Doug Pearson. Mike Lombardi. I will never listen to a single word Mike Lombardi said just because he said Doug Pearson was the worst head coaching hire in NFL history. Mike Lombardi should not be allowed to talk on a platform. Like, I'm dead serious. I will never I'm blocked by it.
Well,
I mention all the time.
Well, I don't know why people like to make these grandiose proclamations about coaching hires right away. I mean, you're setting yourself up for failure. I mean, I was pretty convicted on Liam Cohen and his unprofessionalism, but I didn't go as far as saying he'll be a bad coach because I have no idea. I said it's not a good sign because I think it's a leadership position.
Yeah, I don't think you're out of bounds, John, saying that was a terrible handling of that situation. Yeah.
Well, same thing with Brian Schottenheimer. Like, when I said, the Cowboys are, and everybody goes, you don't like, I'm like, I like Brian Schottenheimer. I just don't like what the Cowboys did to get Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah, how they did it, which is fair.
I mean, what a vote of no confidence in the guy. Let's announce it at 11 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yeah, Jerry's a weirdo.
Yeah. Well, John, I don't know if you saw, I guess I had the stat of the day yesterday, and I didn't even realize it when I tweeted it.
What's that?
The Eagles have more rushing touchdowns in the NFC Championship game than the Cowboys had all season. And, Cowboys fans are in my mention. Oh, you can't get us out of your heads. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, I haven't done that with any team.
Whatever makes you feel better, Cowboys fans. Yeah, 7 rushing touchdowns yesterday is absurd in a playoff.
So someone put, here's a stat. The Cowboys have 5 Super Bowls. Okay, but that's
hey, that's why I'm not a stat guy, because you go back and forth. Cowboy, well, we have 5 Super Bowls. Well, we had 7 rushing touchdowns in the NFC Championship. I mean, it's one game. That means nothing to the next game. That's
but it is funny.
That's what John Gruden said. Like, the Eagles, I'm pretty confident. No offense, Eagles fans, because I think they have a good chance to win the Super Bowl. But I'm taking the under on 7 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. I am too. Well, I have to make my pick today. I'm always the guy who has to bite the bullet for CBS and make
your pick. You got 2 weeks. You got to make your pick.
I know. That's what I told them. But they always want me to go first, and I'm apparently the guy who usually gets them right.
They want you to make a pick 2 weeks from the bowl.
Yeah,
I'm calling foul.
I only have.
We don't even know if Landon Dickerson's healthy.
Yeah,
we don't. Yeah.
I'm 8-1 since I started working at CBS and picking the Super Bowl. You guys want to guess the loss?
Eagles and Chiefs Super Bowl 2057.
Because I thought the Eagles pass rush would get enough pressure to get Mahomes.
The field did you in. The field did me in.
So you know what? I already Chiefs Nation's already laughing because they go, well, you pick the Chiefs all the time except for the 1 year. I'm like, I might just pick you this year.
If they're making you do that today, are you ready to disclose your pick on Birds 365?
I'm going to tell you guys right now. Right. I have learned do not pick against Patrick Mahomes and Andy.
Oh,
No,
no. You're
all
going
Eagles
Chiefs.
fans will
Oh,
rejoice.
no, Jeff. I
Yeah.
thought
But
you were
see,
going
remember,
first.
I picked the Eagles 2 years ago and they lost. So maybe there's some
I don't
karma
think
involved.
they could screw up the Superdome field. I don't think they.
I don't think
could
they
screw it.
can either. By the way, the Eagles won there already this year, and Saquon had a good game again.
They did not play a good game as a whole. That was the Dallas Goddard Keystone Cops game. That game was lost.
Yeah.
And
I know we talk about how the bye week things change. I still say that win kind of changed the season.
they were going to lose that game until 3 Saints defenders ran into themselves.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're a Dennis Allen coach football team.
Well,
Oh, Jeff, you were right about that guy, man. You've been on this show
I've
barking
been
about
right
Dennis.
about. There are certain guys I know I'm right about. He
just got hired, didn't he, Dennis Allen? in
Oh
DC
yeah,
and
where he should be as a defensive coordinator.
Right.
Like again,
he's a fine defensive
I
coordinator.
love Steve Spagnuolo. I'm telling you guys. I mean, I am one of the biggest Steve Spagnuolo fans on the planet. That man should never be a head coach again.
All right, let me ask you this, because John said something about Steve Spags that caught my attention before you came on. Steve Spags or Vic Fangio, who has the advantage in the Super Bowl just from defensive coordinators? Who do you like better in that game?
Spags is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, see, that's what everybody says. Who does Sean
But this is where I'm going to go with here.
By the way, Vic's going to the Hall of Fame too, but I digress. Go ahead.
But I think Vic has done more with his team this year, in my opinion.
Okay, so all right, so Jeff, you're right on the fence. Who's got the advantage in Super Bowl 59?
I'm curious to see what Andy Reid has in store for Vic.
Yeah, I am too. Boy, that's the bet. Talk about
that's the
matchup.
matchup.
A lot of great matchups.
Well, that's the matchup. I mean, that's who's going against each other.
Yeah, Andy Vic is just.
Here's what I said, and I don't know if you were on in the green room when I said it, so I'll say it again. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Nick Sirianni, Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur, and on and on and on. Say Vic Fangio's the toughest to deal with. They don't say Steve Spagnuolo. They can. Who copies? How many people have run Vic's scheme versus how many people have run Steve's scheme? Who do they copy?
Well, Steve's scheme's pretty much extinct. Like Jim Johnson and the blitzing thing, that's been in the past.
Brian
Can we ask,
does it.
John, you just listed a bunch of names, but those were all young coaches. I'd like to ask Andy Reid, Sean Payton.
I haven't heard. I haven't heard
Pete Carroll.
Andy.
Like, what do they think?
By the way, they may have said it in the past. These are the people I remember who specifically said it. And by the way, and McVay's coach actually hired.
And Vic's been around as long as Andy.
Yeah, and Kyle and Nick, Kevin O'Connell as well. I think all of them have hired defensive coaches to run Vic's scheme because they felt as offensive guys, that's why they hired them. That's the most difficult scheme to deal with.
Another subplot for this Super Bowl, I don't think everybody says Bill Belichick had one of the most prepared teams ever for playoff games and Super Bowls.
That's true.
I think Andy tops him. Like, I was rewatching the AFC Championship game this morning because I didn't get to see it firsthand. I'm like, boy, Andy was prepared for this guy. They were prepared for the Bills.
And Andy on 2 weeks is a scary beast.
Andy Reid on a bye week is just scary in and of itself. Like, I remember that's why I thought the Eagles were going to beat the Patriots 20 years ago at this time because I'm like, Andy, it's a bye week. It's Andy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too young.
Andy, look, Andy's phenomenal.
Just gets better too.
You're right. Jeff's right, and it's tough to bet against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. He is right, but I do think the Eagles have the better roster.
Yeah. I agree with you. So I actually think the Eagles are a better team than they were 2 years ago, and I actually think the Chiefs were a worse team than they were 2 years ago, and the Chiefs won by 3.
Yeah,
they have the Chiefs though. I don't like to quantify their talent in the same way because they just always seem to figure out how to win every game they're in, no matter how high.
12-0 in one-score games this year.
It's unreal. I mean, what they're able to do. But I will say this about the 2022 team compared to this: we got a lot of upgrades this year in 24 compared to 22. At least in my opinion. It's
Well, they got the big upgrades are Saquon and Vic.
Well, here's what it is. Jonathan Gannon becomes Vic Fangio. Miles Sanders becomes Saquon Barkley. James Bradbury has become Quinyon Mitchell. Maddox has become DeJean. Hargrave has become Carter, but you lost Fletcher Cox. And TJ Edwards has become Zach Bond.
This is another key factor here. So many guys on this team have played in a Super Bowl now. This isn't new for Jalen Hurts.
But I also think there's, like, with all due respect, I think people forget how good some of those players were.
James Bradbury was a stud.
Yeah, he was a second team All-Pro. Like, Quinyon wasn't a second team All-Pro.
Quinyon made Terry McLaurin, and he kept him in hell yesterday, though.
I think because of what went on the year after, people don't remember how good James Bradbury was that year.
Yeah, everybody remembers the penalty in 2023.
Yeah, Avonte Maddox was one of the best slot corners. Cooper's one of the best slot corners. But again,
CJ did not have a good Super Bowl.
CJ has actually played better this year than he played 2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's been great this year.
And he's still getting the picks.
Yeah, I was a little tougher on him earlier in the year. He's really come on strong and had a really good year. He makes impact plays, man. He's a very physical player.
I'm going to say this too. This Chiefs offensive line is nowhere near the Chiefs offensive line that faced the Eagles 2 years ago.
But I will say the biggest trump card, and we go back to the quarterback. The quarterback was worthy of being the runner-up to the MVP, which was Patrick Mahomes.
And in most years, he's a Super Bowl champion.
Much better season than he had this year. Much better season.
No, I always said when the Eagles fired Andy, my biggest fear was Andy actually beating them in the Super Bowl. Thank God the Eagles did get one before Andy did that proclamation.
Boy, I think all Eagles fans, not this upcoming week, I don't understand Eagles fans that don't root for Andy Reid.
I don't either.
Not in this instance, but
yeah, no, I said last night. I still love Andy Reid.
This fan base is so spoiled because of Andy Reid.
Everything.
Well, in the way, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Andy Reid set the all the culture, all the philosophy?
Yeah, everything they do today.
Yeah,
traces back to Andy Reid.
Yeah, everything.
And I hate to give him credit, but I will, because he's got a big enough ego. And Joe Banner does not get enough credit. Everything they do can be traced back to Andy Reid and Joe Banner today. Every single thing.
And by the way, Andy Reid, like Nick Sirianni, was laughed at his initial press conference. He was is this guy serious type? Who is this guy?
Well, nobody knew who he was.
Yeah. Why did they hire him over Tim Haslett?
Same thing with Nick. Nobody knew who he was. So
yeah, like you knew Andy Reid was the quarterbacks coach of the Packers, and that was it.
Yeah.
By the way, what's crazy about Nick Sirianni, and I've used this stat before, but Jeff, I want to run it by you because you love stats, and I always. Jeff, you're my stat guy. If I ever need stats, I go over to your Twitter. I start looking at your tweets.
Yeah, that's why I tell people, hey, borrow them at your own will.
Oh, I give you credit though, because obviously you're loved here on JAKIB Sports. But think about what Nick Sirianni has a chance to do right now. We're talking about Andy Reid right now. Obviously, clear Hall of Fame coach. Could be one of the greatest coaches of all time.
That could be.
You think he will be?
Andy Reid?
Greatest coach of all time. That's a big statement.
Andy Reid's
I think Andy Reid's better than Bill Belichick.
Andy Reid's already.
Well, already top 5. I said best of all time.
He's in the conversation. Like I said,
yeah, I think so too.
With Jeff and his conversation about Saquon's season, if you're in the conversation, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be other options.
Yeah.
When you talk about best of all time. Is Michael better than LeBron, Will Chamberlain, yada, yada, yada.
But you're in the conversation.
He's in the fucking conversation. And if you're in the conversation.
Yeah. Well, listen, here's my point, Jeff. Nick Sirianni's in his second Super Bowl in 4 years, and he's got a chance to win it. Let's see if he does. It took Bill Belichick 7 seasons to win his first Super Bowl. It took Andy Reid 21 years to win his first Super Bowl. It took Tom Landry, now this is way back, 12 years. Don Shula, 10 years to win their first Super Bowl. I mean, this is pretty. Nick Sirianni, don't look now, but he's another guy who's on an unbelievable trajectory that every person who criticizes him is eventually going to have to eat their words if he continues anything close to what he's done in the first 4 years.
Oh, yeah. If he wins this year, I mean, that's a Super Bowl title in 4 years. That's 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years. But, man, I'm going to feel bad for him because there's so many haters for Nick. And it's not even in the Philadelphia region. It's everywhere. If the Eagles lose the Super Bowl, they are going to rip Nick to death. They are.
This was a hell of a coach job this year by Nick Sirianni. I'll say that right now before I know the result of the Super Bowl.
By the way, there is a bigger loser energy than blaming the officials for a loss. You guys want to know what that is?
Let's hear it.
I'd rather lose. I'd rather go 3-14 than lose in the get to the Super Bowl and lose every year. I remember Eagles fans saying that when Andy was losing conference championship games. I'm like, boy, you never won anything in your life.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that is so.
Well, I think the biggest is what you said. I think the people setting up early the excuses, that is the biggest loser mentality there is. Just go out and win the game.
I'll tell you what.
That's how the players.
You know why everybody hates the Chiefs so much? Because they win every single year. And everybody couldn't wait till the Patriots got knocked off their perch. They did. And now everybody just hates the new bully on the block.
Everybody hates the dynasty, except
I love it. I love how this team
except the people that love the dynasty.
Yeah, like I was so arrogant about picking the Chiefs to beat the Bills, and I literally went on Kansas City and Buffalo radio stations and said, "Look, until Josh Allen beats him, I'm picking the Chiefs."
What's his playoff record now versus Chiefs? 0-4.
Josh Allen is the first quarterback in NFL history to lose 4 times to the same opponent
in the playoffs.
He had some fucking help.
Yeah. Well, Dalton Kincaid needs to catch a ball.
Kincaid needs to. Sean McDermott needs to burn 13 seconds. Needs to learn how to do that.
Yep. You know what?
See, that's what drives me crazy. Josh Allen's 0-4 against Kansas City.
Well, Sean McDermott is too.
Yeah.
He can't beat him. And he's a great coach. But
do you guys like McDermott, or what do you think there?
I love Sean McDermott. I've said this all the time. You know why no one can beat Andy Reid in the playoffs? Because every one of Andy Reid's freaking assistants are in the AFC, and Andy Reid just owns them.
Look, if you can't, and I think I'm a big continuity guy, but if you can't manage 13 seconds, you're out. I'm sorry, you're out.
I still can't.
Should have been out years ago.
I still can't believe Mahomes and the Chiefs pulled that off that year. Oh, by the way, they didn't even win the Super Bowl that year. They didn't even get the Super Bowl that year.
13 seconds. Get out. If you can't manage that, you can't squib kick it. You don't have enough common sense. Get out.
By the way, Spags, I'm going to say this. Jalen Hurts has been really good against the blitz this year. I know he takes a lot of sacks.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to have the success against the blitz.
How was it yesterday, Jeff? Because just to the eye, again, I didn't rewatch the game. I was on the show. I was on the air.
Another thing, real quick before Jeff jumps in, there's a big flipping difference between Kansas City's blitz and Washington's blitz. That's another thing with blitz statistics. Like that all like, okay, so-and-so's blitz ain't Spagnuolo's blitz. Like, look at that he got 2 people loose against Josh Allen. Josh Allen still made a brilliant throw under duress. Dalton Kincaid should have caught it. But it was a desperation throw. Why was it a desperation throw? Because he got home. Now, one of these jabroni teams, Carolina, might blitz and get stoned all the time, but that gets all correlated in. So the context gets lost.
Well,
this is the Kansas City blitz. This is the Kansas City blitz.
The Chiefs have Trent McDuffie and no one else does. What a stud.
Yeah, he is a stud.
What a stud. George Karlaftis is a stud, and they got him in the same draft.
Press, cover, corner. You will see this week. And the Eagles will play too high and try to not confuse, try to, limit explosive plays and get Patrick Mahomes frustrated.
By the way, John, there's someone who can make sure Howie Roseman's ego doesn't get stroked any more than it does, and he's the GM of the Chiefs.
Brett Veach.
Brett Veach can draft and sign people just as well as Howie Roseman.
Yeah, Brett Veach is remarkable.
Well, I told you Brad Holmes would win, and he did win the PFWA Executive of the Year. Yeah, Howie wasn't going to win it. But top 5, though.
But this is my opinion. When you sign 2 effing All-Pros on the same day, yeah, that's all I need to say.
That's true.
You signed it. And I know you can't predict that on March 13th, but
we got sidetracked, Jeff. How was Jalen yesterday versus the Blitz? Were you able to log the numbers? Because it didn't feel
you know
like
what? Let me look it up for you real quick. I got my
just the eye test to me, Jeff. It didn't
okay.
Looked like they got us on a couple of those I remember the third down where before Jake missed the 54-yarder, Frankie Louvu had a big sack there. That was off the blitz, obviously. I thought they got Jalen a couple of times yesterday.
Okay, so he was 7 of 13, 116 yards, 84 passer rating. But the key is Jaden Daniels was 2 of 6 for 29 yards.
Wow. And Jaden was good against the blitz all year. He torched us last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I didn't get why Vic blitzed him as much. And guess what? Vic did not blitz him as much.
Yeah, right. It makes sense. No doubt about it. All right, Jeff, man, we got to run. We got Chris Franklin coming up. Just your final thoughts, man. The Eagles dropped 55 yesterday, which is insane. A historic win to go back to the Super Bowl. They're second in 3 years. What a time to be a Philadelphia Eagle fan. What a time to cover this team. It's great for us to be able to do it, Jeff. What's your final thoughts on that crazy game yesterday and now the Super Bowl rematch 2 weeks from now?
Now, I posted this on a lot of my personal pages that are locked. But I'm so fucking happy for Saquon Barkley. Like you guys have no idea the bullshit he went through in New York. It's my God. Like when seeing him with his family, seeing him talk to guys in the locker room, talking to a couple people in that circle.
Settle down.
I'm telling you, man, like it makes the season that much better.
Well, I will say this about Saquon. He's got to be one of the most likable football players of all time. Just as someone who's not even an Eagles fan. Like you watch the game and you watch a game like that, maybe you haven't watched the Eagles all year. He is a likable guy, man.
Saquon. A lot of likable guys on this particular team. And he's one of them. Yeah, he's considering, how big of a star he is, he's pretty well grounded, which is something.
I love what I was talking to a lot of my people down in Kansas City, and they go, "This is how we're going to stop Saquon Barkley. You can't." They said we're just going to admit he's just going to run.
I like my NBA comparison. He's going to get his. You just have to make him work for it.
Yeah.
So instead of
also fun little Super Bowl stat, the Chiefs have not allowed a running back over 88 yards this year.
Well, they will.
Yeah, that's what they said. I think that streak's going to end.
Is that right? Not over 88 yards? That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, but in Saquon, in the 19 games he's played, he's had 14 100-yard games.
Yeah, I know because I've been giving away jerseys every week.
I was going to say, Zander, how's the JAKIB Sports Fund going there?
Oh my God, look, Jeff, I'm loading back up. We're doing giveaways all week, man. We've been doing giveaways all
First
year.
off, I don't know how you're finding the inventory, Zander. Like they're the hardest thing to find these days.
I know it's hard, man. There's no
it's
doubt
like
about it.
Tickle Me Elmo.
Yep, it's true, man. They're selling like hotcakes, the Saquon jerseys. All right, Jeff, we appreciate you doing it, man. Great stuff, as always, by you. Make sure everybody goes and follows Jeff on Twitter at Jeff Kerr CBS. Truly one of the best follows on Twitter in the football space.
And we didn't give you credit for playing through pain like Cam Jurgens.
Oh yeah, what was
Cam
that?
Jurgens and Jeff Kerr.
All right, so here's a fun story for you guys. John already knows it. Zander,
I gotta hear it.
So I'm playing basketball this week. I play in the league every Wednesday with a bunch of my buddies, bunch of guys I played basketball with for years. I'll say it at 35, I'm the fastest guy on the team now. I just am. I was sprinting down the court.
No more. No, you're not.
No, I'm out for a month. So sprinting down the court, fast break like I always do. Get the easy points. Passes a little out of my range, but I still got it. And when I got it and went up for the layup, I pinched the nerve, pulled the groin, felt it right away, couldn't sit down. Oh, and my leg was numb for literally 2 days. And I got a puppy this week.
Oh,
so with the puppy, I'm taking a step to the left. My leg don't go. My right leg don't go where it wants it to. I fell, broke both my toes.
Oh my
Broke my
God!
big toe on
How
my
are you
right.
walking the puppy? That's my next question. Then.
Yeah.
By the
good.
way-
I was laboring yesterday, but I went through.
By the way, and I don't want to say it. You could say it. I'm just going to give you the opportunity to say it. You don't have to say it if you don't say it.
John knows.
I'm not
you
gonna
know the name of the dog.
Name of the dog. Do you want to give the name of the dog?
Is it Saquon? Don't tell me it's Saquon.
No.
Barkley.
It's Penn State themed. Yes.
All right.
Penn
What is
State
it?
thing.
It's Barkley.
I knew it. I just called it. I knew it was going to be.
Hey,
Barkley.
I have a Barney, so I might as
All
well
right.
have a Barkley.
That's what I said.
Sense.
Saquon's having one of the great years in NFL history, but he's also got a great PR man, and that's my buddy Jeff Kerr.
I was his
really
PR
does.
man on the Giants.
That is great. You named it. I saw a tweet from Hugh Douglas yesterday. It was hilarious. He was like, I don't know if you guys realize this. There's going to be a lot of white kids, a lot of white babies born with the name Saquon in the next year.
I don't know about that.
Man.
I don't know about
cracking
that.
up.
Yeah.
A lot of dogs named Barkley, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
All right,
you know,
Jeff, we appreciate it, man. We got to
Yeah.
run. I got Chris waiting. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah.
We appreciate all
Thanks,
the time
buddy.
you've given us this year and another great segment. Thank you, man.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks.
There's Jeff Kerr here on Birds 365. Great stuff from Jeff Kerr. Now we got Chris Franklin coming up next here on Birds 365. Before we get to him, I want to tell you guys about the great people at BetUS. You can see the promo code on your screen. It's YouTube 150. Go to betus.com.pa. Use this promo code. It gives you a 150% sign-up bonus on your very first deposit, and you get 125% on your second and third deposit, all up to $2,000. So deposit less and bet with more at BetUS. Are you taking the Saquon over after you just heard Jeff Kerr tell you the Chiefs haven't given up more than, what was it, 88 yards from a running back? 88,
Yeah.
John?
That's what he said.
So pretty amazing. Are you still going to take the Saquon over? I'll smash it. I love it. Great stuff, everybody.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Johnny Mac's taking it. That means I'm taking it. Let's get to our great friend, Chris Franklin from NJ.com, joining us now here on Birds 365. Chris, welcome to the show, man. What a great game yesterday, 55-23, Chris, and we're headed back to the Super Bowl, my friend. How you doing on this Monday morning?
I was doing fine, so I heard the comment that so many kids are going to be the same Saquon.
Saquon.
What,
I
the
don't,
white
I don't
babies?
think that's the
Yeah,
case.
Hugh Douglas tweeted that, Chris.
Yeah.
I was cracking up.
That
last
still
night.
has me.
Yeah. I'm not going to go. Maybe 2K say. How about that?
Mike, Saquon?
2K say.
Saquon?
It's like
That
George
was great.
Costanza wanted to name his kid 7 for Mickey Mantle. So maybe
Oh,
we can go
Goodness.
2K say. 2K say. I'd
Not
like to
bad.
introduce my son, 2K say. How's that, Chris?
It's like the Ladasha with an L-A hyphen show. I remember that, like, hey, I remember that one before. So,
Like
yeah.
an
I just
Elon
consider
Musk
that-
name. What's the name of his kid? XAE and all. What is that crazy name he named his one kid?
No
Did
comment.
he? I don't know. I missed
Oh my
that.
God, you've never seen that, John? You'll
No.
get a kick out of that. You got to look
No,
up the one
no
name.
comment.
All right, Chris, what'd you think of the game yesterday, man? 55 burger in the NFC Championship game. Jalen Hurts, I thought his best game of the year. They're answering all the critics. Chris, what'd you think of the game yesterday, man? Big NFC Championship game and the second Super Bowl now in 3 years for these teams.
That was the most complete game this team has played all season.
Yep.
By far. And I thought you look at the way offensively, the way they were able to methodically move the ball down the field in both the run and the pass, using both to set the other one up, which I thought was very, very key. You saw some aggressiveness with Nick Sirianni on that fourth down call when they threw the ball to A.J. Brown.
AJ. Love it. That changed the whole game around, Chris.
It was great. And then defensively, you look at there were some holes that got stretched out a little bit in terms of the fact that you look at Jaden Daniels and the way he's able to change some stuff. So that there. And then special teams, aside from the fake punt, which that has to definitely be cleaned up because Andy Reid's will look for something weird off of that. You look at the way they're able to force fumbles and get this team into good field position. So overall, it was a really great. It was to me, this game was a disappointment, not from the Eagles. I thought the Commanders would actually put up a better fight, and that was just
Yeah,
that was
didn't
bad.
happen. Although Jaden Daniels, I thought was great. I really
Yeah.
do. I just think, boy, that secondary, too emotional. I'm talking about the Washington second. Too emotional. They just had a really poor game. I mean, guys were running wide open. What was the plan on that back? I mean, on paper, pretty good corners. Not in reality. They had both of them had really, really poor games.
Yeah, I look back now at that trade that the two teams had during the draft. To me, the Eagles got the better end of Cooper DeJean. Sinister, I know he's still developing, he's still be a good guy, what have you. But in moments like this, you need to keep your calm. You can't be hitting people. You can't be doing like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you look at that, and it just seems flustered. And for all the talk, the defensive court, Joe Witt Jr. is a really good defensive mind. He really is. The fact that he didn't come up with a better game plan than the way they had last week. Why were they putting single high safety? For the life of me, still do not know with this offense. I know you don't want to put two back because you got to worry about the run game. But at the same time, there's other things you can do than having one single safety and giving man on man with. If you saw Marshawn Lattimore and the way AJ Brown was abusing him the week 16, why are you having him singled up one on one again? Okay, I think
On
it's
fourth down,
it's
nonetheless, Chris.
yeah,
On fourth down.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's some of the things I have so many questions about it, but yeah, it's crazy.
How about the crack toss to set the tone of the game? I think about the mentality of, Washington gets the ball first. They grind it out for 18 plays. They get 54 yards. Everything's difficult. They convert 2 fourth downs. And then for some reason, they're facing a 4th and 3 at the 16. And Dan Quinn all of a sudden goes back to, Atlanta Falcons, Dan Quinn. I'll take the points. I'll kick the field goal. And after all that, they get a 3-0 lead. And boy, the take the points people had about 10 seconds to enjoy and bask in their glory because crack toss, Saquon Barkley, 60 yards to the house. Right there, I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be a long day for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, it felt like one of those, like we were watching an MMA fight or whatever. You got the guy who's beating him, waiting for the ref to jump in, and then it's like the fighters goes, "Okay, I'll back up and let you guys back up. I want to continue have this continue." Like, what if Dan Quinn was going to be aggressive on those first 2 calls? Why not go for a third at that
Makes
point?
no
Because you set the
sense,
tone.
man.
And at first, I'm more conservative in terms of that. And as far as at a time like that, but more I thought about, I was like, yeah, you just let these guys. You could have just emotionally, from an emotional standpoint, you go up if you continue to drive, you get the first down, you get the touchdown. All of a sudden, you quiet that crowd, and you got the Eagles thinking a little bit. Now they're coming off seeing like what happened that long drive, and it's a win with a field goal. You get the fact, of course, it's a win.
Yeah.
They're reinvigorated, and then we saw what happened after that. So, Dan Quinn did a great job this year with the Commanders, got them way further than anybody thought they should do. But when it came to big games, we've seen what's happened in really big games in the past in terms of decision making, what have you. And that shot of him on the sideline where he's just like, "What's going on? What just happened?" Encapsulated that whole entire time that he had with some of the decisions made yesterday.
No doubt about it. Chris, what do you think of QB1, Jalen Hurts, yesterday, man? I thought that was a big feather in his cap to be able to do that on the biggest stage of the year. Obviously, a lot of talk this year about whether he's carried or whatever with the passing game. And I get it. I understand every conversation, but I thought it had to feel good for him. And I thought he played his best game of the year. How'd you evaluate Jalen Hurts yesterday?
Whatever he took to make his leg move around the way he did, I want some of that, because that thing was just like walking around. It's like,
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask you both, was that gamesmanship to wear the brace and then take it off right before kickoff like that?
There's some times there's been times he doesn't like wearing a brace at all too. It's just I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's a feel thing.
he kept fiddling with it pregame.
Yeah,
so
I was wondering, like maybe he was wearing it to, Joe Witt's thinking the whole time he's not going to be able to run, and he looked pretty explosive to me. He didn't look like it was much of an issue.
Yeah,
yeah.
You go, man. You guys, man.
I think in the mentality of like that's not a coaching thing. That's like when somebody's banged up. That's more like Bobby Wagner and Frankie Luvu got to figure that out on field if he's got mobility, if he's not, because you can't know that unless you're a player. So that's up to what you feel on field. Chris is right. He doesn't like wearing things like that. And he did spend an inordinate amount of time pregame, like fiddling with it, trying to get it comfortable. So I don't know. I don't know if we got to ask that question because I had to go up and do the postgame show. I don't know if you were there, Chris. But
I left before Hurts. You had to go run something else.
yeah, he certainly looked fine. I'll say that. And the most impressive part to me, to be honest, was he threw the ball with conviction. Like that's when Jalen Hurts is clicking. Like when he trusts what he sees and he throws the ball with conviction. He's tough to stop. And we haven't seen that all year, but we saw it yesterday.
And the main thing, like we know his decision making has been good. Obviously, the 0 interceptions in terms of that, in terms of the playoffs, stuff like that. But you look at the way they mentioned the ball placement. He's decisive. He got the. I mean, we've seen the pressure, and everybody talks about, and you hear him saying, "Well, if he's pressured, you can't get him. He's not a great quarterback, what have you. He's safe with the ball. You look at the completion percentage and the ratings, what have you. It's been really good in terms of that." And then you look at the way he's talking to everybody, like the way he communicates in there, the way he's not phased in terms of the thing. He played one of his best. I think the Steelers game to me was his best game of the season. This might be the second best in my opinion. The way just the overall in terms of what was on the line, the way he just held himself, and the way he throwing the ball, flinging that ball around. Yeah, you want that Jalen Hurts to play the Chiefs as opposed to somebody else.
By the way, that because we had this discussion with Jeff before he came on about blitz. Like, what quarterback is better with pressure? Like, who's the good quarterback with pressure? Like, where is that guy? Well, at some of these times, some of these narratives, I just shake my head.
Well, some of them just can't handle. Some of them just like
No, some of them are worse. Yeah, but
Josh Allen's really good at shocker. I know, especially if you look at even with that last that lob throw that he threw that he should have caught. But yeah,
should have
you
caught
look
it.
at that.
Yeah, but that's desperate. That's a desperation heave. I mean, that's not. And you're right. Dalton Kincaid should have caught it, but that's desperation. I mean, the point is, if you're pressured, there's not much you can do as a quarterback.
I think when I look at the way of it depends on your system and what you have inherently scheme, because that's why I think Bobby Slowick got fired from Texans. And we know, as we heard last year so many times with the blitz, they didn't have an answer. Because especially if you could see where these guys are coming and you feel the pressure, like double A gap, good luck. That's where it's really tough because
Mike Zimmer, baby.
Too. That's really tough.
Mug it.
Any other thing? Any other thing I see where that? Oh, I know he's coming there. If I checked the right line or I did my preparation beforehand and we were all on the same thing, if I see him come from this way, I'm calling like a linebacker come that way, I'm calling a slant or a tight end behind him with drag it, and I'm hitting him with that.
No, well, please
blitz me.
I didn't mean to say that. I meant like obviously there are certain quarterbacks that deal with pressure better than others, obviously. But doesn't matter from Patrick Mahomes on down. They are worse when pressured. Nobody's better when pressured. That's all, which is a weird narrative that I hear all the time. So anyway, if Jalen Hurts plays like that, Kansas City's going to have a really difficult time in the Super Bowl. But we were having an interesting discussion on which team is better, this Eagles team or the team that won after the 2022 season. And I think a lot of people default to this team as better because of Saquon, because of Vic. But the one thing I will say, people forget how good Zander brought up Quinyon versus James Bradbury. People forget how good James Bradbury was that year, second team All-Pro. But more than that, people forget how good Jalen was that year. That Jalen was the runner-up to the MVP, and deservedly so. We haven't seen that Jalen, but we kind of did see him against Washington. Does that give you hope?
I think Jalen's all there. Just to think when you have Saquon Barkley right behind you, I think that really does enhance what he's able to do. Like you don't have to, this team didn't have to throw as much as they usually do because usually, like you see, like when they ripped off those 60-yard runs, it's like, all right, yeah, let's try it again. I think it's still there, and the numbers may not look reflected like that one, but I still think he's there. I think we saw it yesterday too, and I look at that and I'm thinking, you know what? I think we see it show it again. especially with the week that like when they have the bye week. This bye week came at the best time for his team. I think especially for him as well too. He's gonna be another week removed from that knee. I think he'll be even more decisive. He's familiar with this defense already. It may look a little different here and there, but he's seen it already. He's seen it 2 straight years. He'll see it this in the Super Bowl, and he'll see it next year when they play him again too. So he's familiar with that one too. Sure, the Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo is going to have some different blitz packages. He's going to have time to think that up, but I think he'll still be able to do stuff against that. So I still feel confident that he'll be able to do that. I feel confident enough that the threat of Saquon Barkley along with him may stop some of those different pressures that have happened. It's one of those things where I know Spagnuolo, I think they were before yesterday's game, something like they were blitzing 40% against the Texans or something like that. Where I haven't seen the new numbers that came out today for that, but it might come to a fact where he might even blitz even more just to try to stop the run blitz even more, just try to stop Barkley. If that happens, I think Hurts. We've seen his ability to audible out of those plays where he sees where the pressure is.
Yeah.
Also get him out of there. I think they can hit some big plays not only in the run game but also the passing game too. So
Looked like that first play. Looked like that first play, Chris. Jalen checked. It almost looked like he checked out and then checked
out and then checked back. It was the call. It was the original play call, and he checked back to it.
Yeah. So good stuff there by Jalen Hurts. Chris, I asked John this, and we talked about it with Jeff Kerr as well, and I'll get your take on it. How do you think the experience from the Super Bowl 2 years ago helps or affects this team in their preparation for this Super Bowl? I know you got some different players, but Nick's there, Jalen's there, there's AJ's there, Devontae. There's some key players there. You think that Super Bowl 2 years ago helps this team? I'll give you a couple quotes from Jalen Hurts. I didn't walk through the fire just to smell the smoke. I think he means I'm learning from everything here. I think it's going to help him. What say you?
I think it will too, especially I think that first time you look back now, it's like one of those like, wow, we're here. We were down. They expected that they're the one seed. They expected as the season went on. You're like, okay, yeah, they're going to go, and we saw what they did San Francisco. But it's one of those things like, yeah, all right, we're here, and we can play with these guys. I think now there's like one of those things like, okay, we've been here before. We know what we've done. We know what it takes to win. Let's just go from here on out. And I think that first thing, and especially the fact that they lost in the manner they lost that first time, I think that's going to help out a lot in terms of this new leadership group they have. You still have Wayne there. You still have BG there that are still able to like, hey, listen, they've been through the fires before, 17, 22. You have those, but that new middle core, like where you have Hurts, you have Smith, you have Brown, those guys have seen that. They're like, okay, we know what it takes to win in Super Bowl in this level. Let's go and do this, and they can help into that too. So I think that especially the manner and the way how close they got, and the team that they get to see again, and they really, really like. I think they really feel more comfortable this time, and also dealing with all the off the field stuff. I mean, the ticket requests that are going to come, the weirdness that come, media night with the hey, I have this weird hat. Wait, wear this, all that stuff. So
all the international media asking goofy questions about
two players who should. Oh, never stop. That was last week.
Yeah,
yeah, it started last week already.
Yeah, it did. It did. Who was that guy? I don't know. Challenge like who?
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, weird week. Spags, you mentioned Spags. This is an interesting. It doesn't even matter because it's Big Fangio versus Andy Reid, and it's Spags versus Kellen Moore. But better DC, the great Spags, or the Godfather himself, Big Fangio.
I look at there's one thing I look at as well too. I take the tree into account.
Yeah,
you look at the tree.
If you take the tree, it ain't
Fangio's
a fucking.
Got to buy a lot.
Yeah. Fangio's got to buy 1,000,000 miles if you take the tree.
But then I also look at the big games. You look at the Super Bowls, the right calls at the right time.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta go just off of that. If you go off of production itself and everything else, I gotta go Spagnuolo right now.
Yeah,
right now, I take Spagnuolo.
Vic's my guy. By the way,
Vic's one B. Vic's that's tough.
Here's how cool Vic is. We're in the locker room after the game, and Gilly the Kid's in there, and everybody's celebrating. Everybody's taking pictures of the NFC Championship trophy.
Yeah.
Jalen's got the victory cigar. Vic had already left, and he walked up and he saw me and gave me a little dap, and that was it. And I said, "Congratulations!" And he was off in the sunset.
Yeah, I saw it's funny. He's coming down like right before I think it was it was like the game had just ended. He's walking down with his briefcase, goes to the locker room. Like, oh, he's not going to celebrate. Well, then he goes back real quick, and then he's the first person back coming out off the field. Right over like, all right, I've seen this. All right.
Has Vic ever been here? Has Vic ever been to a Super Bowl? No.
He was a consultant with the in 2022.
Yeah, he was a consultant with the Eagles in 2022. People forget that he was helping. And by the way, he was helping the offense. He was not helping the defense.
Which is interesting because he was the coach of Denver, which means he's obviously dealt with the Chiefs twice a year. So he's familiar with them. Now they were a different team at that time, but still,
he knows. I guarantee you, I haven't talked. You will hear Andy talk glowingly about Vic Fangio. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Chris. Any other key takeaways from that game, man? It was a pretty wild one. I thought the defense, though, Zach Bond continues to play lights out. Jalen Hurts was obviously great. We talked about him, but what else jumped off the page at you in that 55-23? I guess we could call it an ass beating. You put up 55 points in the NFC Championship game. That's an ass beating.
All-time record.
Yeah, all-time record.
I think a couple of things in terms of that. Look at Jordan Davis. The fact that you don't think of Jordan Davis being a pass rusher. You look at the way that was a key moment as well too. Him being able to chase down of all people. Jordan Davis chased down Jalen Daniels. That itself, I thought was big. You look at the contribution you got from all your rookies, from all the rookies that pretty much were dressed for that game. Yeah, all started with Quinyon with the interception, Coop with the coverage. You look at Jalix Hunt, who still continues to be part of that rotation and makes impact. I think he had 4 tackles yesterday in terms of that as well, too. And then Will Shipley, when you finally see him, he had to step up in terms of when
Will
Kim Gainwell came back.
Will Shipley almost took one to the house.
Yeah, that was you see all the impact that he did, and I thought that was fine. I think Kenneth Gainwell will be fine afterwards. So I saw him walking back before the celebration locker room, had a big smile on his face, ready to go. So I think he'll be ready. I don't think it's probably, I think, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to throw this out there, but I think today's an important day to watch to see this. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, he got concussion, but it's nothing like where you got to worry about his availability in terms of the Super Bowl. So I think he'll be ready as well too. So those are just 3 things: the rookies, Jordan Davis, and Kenneth Gainwell. I think those are 3 guys.
What a rookie season for the Eagles, by the way. Starting with Quinyon Cooper, but also just little contribution, as you mentioned, from Will Shipley. You also had the forced fumble. Jalix Hunt turns it. We all thought Jalix Hunt's going to be this developmental guy, redshirt him. Now he's playing big snaps in the NFC Championship game.
Johnny Wilson too. You got him on the outside with the blocking. Yeah. There's so many things that you look at. It's like, this team's good. Like, you look at just the key pieces, and you look at the defense, how young it is, and where their key pieces are at. They're good there. Offensively, this is young. This team, I really think when we look at this is just the second of 3 Super Bowls we're seeing between the Eagles and Chiefs. I think we're really seeing like this is the second one. I think we'll have a rubber match sometime in the next 2-3 years because this Eagles team is just deep and they're young.
They're young, man. They really are built to. I mean, who's saying they can't go back in the next couple of years? I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Obviously, we got a big game in 2 weeks, but there's no doubt this team is set up, and that's a credit to Howie Roseman. This team is set up for sustained success as long as everybody, nobody falls off a cliff. Jalen doesn't fall.
Well, it's got to be Saquon, though. I mean, Saquon, at least if they play like this, that's what I mean. All right, here, Saquon has accounted for 40.2% of the Eagles' scrimmage yards this season entering the Super Bowl. That's the 4th player in history, 4th best, behind Marshall Faulk, Raheem Mostert of all people, and Marshawn Lynch, and then Saquon is 4th. He is the first rushing champion that would, if they win, that will play for a Super Bowl winner since Terrell Davis in '98. Interestingly, because of break Terrell Davis's record in the Super Bowl. Been a long time. To have that wrong, but they're very Saquon centric right now. Nothing wrong with it. They've gotten to where they gotten them. But when we start talking about long term and them going back again and again and again, I think you might need a little more balance, Chris Franklin. Yes or no?
I think you just redistribute it, and I think that's part of the plan too. Like if this, because we know the toll that these carries are taking on his body, and he can do anything. Like Derrick Henry, like he still is among the best. He's still massive. He's doing really well. But if you look at Derrick Henry now versus Derrick Henry about 3-4 years ago, it's a little bit of a little different.
No. And
And I
Derek
think,
spends $750,000 a year on his body.
yeah,
Saquon probably does similar, to be
it's
honest.
around there, yeah, with all the trainers and the pay and the
Yeah.
food and all that stuff. Yeah, it's up there. But I think it's one of those things where I think I think you account for that when you sign into a contract like this. You account for it. You're thinking on the back end. And you start developing that. That's why you go out to Will Shipley. I'm not saying Will Shipley is going to be Saquon Barkley, but you use him to complement with Barkley in order to take some of those carries off and then give him a little bit more. So it's supposed to. So you don't necessarily need one person having all those rushing yards, say 2-3 years. You distribute it so that you get the production out of 2-3 people. In terms of almost money balling it in a way.
Yeah, you got to money ball it. Nice. I love a money ball reference. I love that movie, by the way.
It's great. It's great.
Zander's not a movie guy. Moneyball, put that on your list.
We're making a movie list for Big Z in the offseason. I'll watch it. Chris, what do you think of what that game yesterday mean for Nick Sirianni, man? I think Nick Sirianni and Jalen are kind of similar, just in that, I don't know. John tells me maybe it's just because I got my Eagle glasses on or I'm so focused on the Eagles, but it feels like those two guys are criticized a lot in the national media and by, from the NFL world as a whole, for whatever reason. Nick's antics, Jalen's arms,
by the way,
whatever it might
coaches, be. I'll just add, coaches, they get shat upon everywhere.
They do, but there's definitely a little bit of an extra hate, I think, for Nick Sirianni, maybe because of some of the stuff that he's done. But what'd you think yesterday meant for him, man? And now 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, he's now inevitable. You can't dispute it, can't deny it. He is successful, that's for sure.
This arc reminds me a lot. I think when he first retired and a couple years into it, he reminded me a lot of Dick Vermeil. And just whatever, I wasn't around for Dick Vermeil. But when you read all the stuff, you hear everybody talking about him, how it was so passionate, so fiery, and you saw the success they continually used to gradually get better and better and better as it went along. And it just reminds you, just keeps winning. You hope that he and Vermeil don't have the same fate in New Orleans. You hope that doesn't happen again. But you look at the way that the players react to him, the way that he's been able to continually win. Did he make decisions early this year that have you question like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's sort of like, the thing is, he learned from them. And you don't see him making the same thing. Like, I look at the Atlanta game, look at the way that team came out against the Buccaneers and some of those decisions made. Yeah, there are some things you do. You're question like, why are you doing this? But you look at the overall picture and how not only you're getting your young players to develop, you're getting the most out of your talent. You're in a position now where you've been to the playoffs each of the years you've been in the league. The Eagles got one, but the Eagles have one of the best coaches. The Eagles have one of the best coaches in the league. They really do. And to the point where you're starting to think like, okay, I think he's on level par with Vermeil in terms of like Andy Reid. I still think is this franchise's best head coach over time. Now, if you want to go back to the 48, 49s or what have you and say, Reese Neal or whatever,
we're going to leave that to Ray. We're not going to go back that far. I'd say Super Bowl era. This is by far, Chris, the best era of Eagles football ever in the Super Bowl era.
Oh yeah, definitely by far. This is like because how many times we saw they had the Super Bowl, they want to go to Super Bowl, they may go to the playoffs following year, and there's a stretch of nothingness. Yeah. Look at this team. They're in a position where it should be. The team last year should have been in this position the way they started, and until they had that collapse. So if you figure that, this really should be 3 years. You should be in the talks of being a Super Bowl contender. There have been talks of them being a Super Bowl contender. In 2 of those years, you actually made the Super Bowl.
And
I'm pressing it.
I said it
More.
last night on our post-game show. I'm going to say it again. I started covering this team on a daily basis in 2016. What year were you, Chris?
2020. Of all years.
2020. So even Chris, more than me, is responsible. He's the good luck charm. He's the good luck charm because this team keeps winning and winning and winning and winning. But to Zander's point, by the way, you won't have to look nationally because if they don't finish the job, there will be plenty of people in our chat shitting on Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. That's just part of it.
I'm saying win or lose, he deserves an extension.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh,
win
that
or
was
lose.
bad.
Well, you know what's going to happen if they lose. Why is he here?
Yeah.
Get over it.
Hey,
you know what's
there
gonna
are a
happen.
ton of people wanted him run out last year. They're hiding now. They don't bring it up. But
Yeah, but John, that's a little unfair to say because wasn't the owner thinking about it for crying out loud?
Well, yeah. Jeffrey Lurie is.
Yeah. So I mean, come on, that wasn't just a fan thing.
No, because I blame Jeffrey Lurie for it too. So I'll blame them both.
All right, that's fine. As long as you're going to blame Lurie too, then I'm good with it.
Yeah, he would. Hey, Jeffrey's like everybody else. This organization is great. It's one of the best in the NFL. I think you see that on a year-to-year basis. But there's one thing that all 32 have in common, and that's when you don't meet expectations, somebody's got to pay. There's got to be a scapegoat. Last year was Brian Johnson. It was Sean Desai, Matt Patricia, group. Doesn't matter. This year in Houston, it's Bobby Slowick. The same year, Bobby's getting head coaching interviews. He's fired when they get better. You know, somebody's got to pay, Chris.
Yeah.
Nature of the NFL.
Slowick. Well, I didn't get the whole hype behind him before. Like he's one of the guys. I'm just like, okay,
Well,
yes, CJ Stroud made him look good, but then it's like, wait.
I always find it amusing when guys. That happened to Brian Johnson last year. He got head coaching interviews and he got fired. I always find that amusing.
He's part of a trio. Him, Clint Kubiak, and somehow new head coach Brian Schottenheimer. The three of them. It's like the Steel Family Guys quote where you talk about where Chris Griffin comes out for that. How do they keep getting work? It's one of those things now too. They keep it's like somebody hired. They always get hired. And you look at it, it's like, we expect them to do really great. And they finish where you expect them to do, and then they get a job somewhere else.
Let me add a little secret that's not a secret at all. Nepotism is a big thing in professional football.
It is?
When you talk about Schottenheimer and Kubiak, that answers your question right there.
Well, I thought Chris Shula. Chris Shula actually think it can be legit, but most of the Shulas.
Yeah. Nepo babies abound in the NFL. At C. Franklin News, make sure you follow Chris. He's done it on his own. No nepotism there. One of the best in the business, NJ.com. Good enough to come on and talk Eagles. We still got to go. It keeps going for us, Chris. We still got 2 more weeks, man. Super Bowl again.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to it's fun. I love more to actually, instead of like having to cover afar, like seeing a team you don't normally cover, to actually know what's going on, know the team that's happening, just going to be in there. Yeah, it makes it a little bit more.
No doubt about it. Chris, thank you for joining, man. We appreciate it. Great as always. And hopefully we'll talk to you at least one more time here before this big Super Bowl 59, brother. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Y'all have a good one now.
Yeah,
thanks, Chris.
Franklin joining us here on Birds 365. Great show today, Johnny Mac. Got 5 or so minutes left, and I'm going to stick on, by the way. I'll be doing giveaways and stuff after the show today. So make sure everybody, if you're in the chat and you're not a member, get your memberships in. We'll be doing some giveaways on the chat. Good to see everybody in here. Don't forget to smash that like button for us, all right? I don't know where we're at right now, but we have good amount of people watching the show. Almost 2,000 on every platform. I think we have up to almost 1,000 on YouTube. So big thanks to all you guys. Hit that like button. John, one other thing I want to ask you about on today's show is Jalen Hurts made a comment after the game about taking off the straitjacket. What did you make of that comment?
Yeah, he's dropped those hints a few times.
I thought it was a little, maybe a little not vindication, but you've been saying kind of what they've been doing, and I thought Jalen kind of tipped his cap there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, or it should be pretty obvious, that they had become very risk averse, and they took some shots yesterday. And it's a fine line. They haven't been turning the football over. They still didn't turn it over. So when you're walking that tightrope and you're getting explosive plays and taking care of the football, that's the best of both worlds. And kind of yesterday is the version of the Eagles offense everybody thought they were going to see. But again, I think people forget Jalen drops those sort of, what do you want to call them, Easter eggs a lot, where he says, some of that backhanded stuff, straight jacket, talked about sometimes it's not always my decision, blah, blah. He's done it quite a bit this season. I think that's the most misunderstood thing of all. Jalen Hurts believes the passing game has to get better, just like people like me believes the passing game needs to get better. Now, he'll also say, his standard is to win no matter what. So, but you'd like to have the best of both worlds. Yesterday, they had the best of both worlds.
John, this is what I love about Jalen, and I said it yesterday. I really believe he practices what he preaches, and this is the finest example of it, John. Not many quarterbacks, would be willing to probably sacrifice personal stats and accolades and some of those things if his coach asked him to. And I think he did and was willing to do it, and that's why he always says, I keep the main thing the main thing.
Not only coaches, not only quarterbacks, coaches. I go back to two guys, John Gruden in Tampa, who won a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's defense and one of the great defenses of the modern era, and Brad Johnson playing quarterback, and was miserable because he didn't have the explosive passing game. And Brian Billick in Baltimore, maybe the best of the modern defenses with Trent Dilfer. And the next season, he went out and got Elvis Gerbach, who threw for like 3,500 yards. I don't know the exact number. And they weren't as good. It's not just quarterbacks, it's coaches as well. And because think, John Gruden, Brian Billick, offensive guys. They don't want to sit around and not be able to move the football. So it's easy to say the standard is to win. But when you win ugly, it eats at people, as funny as that sounds. And the Eagles didn't win ugly yesterday. So, I guess he let me out of my straitjacket a little bit today is the exact quote you're talking about. Now, I think part of that is facetious and taking shots at people who says he can't throw the football.
Yeah, I agree.
But on the other hand, there's a little bit of truth in that, see, I can throw the football if I'm allowed to throw the football.
Yeah, and I think I think it's a credit to him though, man. He does, like I said, he practices what he preaches. He tells you all he cares about is winning. It's one thing to say that. It's another thing to embody that with the way you play, end up with 2,900 passing yards and have a bunch of people criticizing you. But look, here he is, John, dancing his way to a Super Bowl, second one in 3 years. So pretty impressive stuff, Johnny Mac. That's going to do it for at least the first 2 hours of Birds 365. I'll keep going with everybody. I'll take some comments from the great people. I'll make sure I read every super chat. Let me check, make sure we got all of our super chats here. I'll read one more to you. AJ Jones, Kellen wants to leave, and I understand his dreams of being a head coach. It's way early, but who would be a good fit in your opinion for our new OC if he leaves? He is supposed to interview with the Saints this week.
Yeah, I think he'll be back, to be honest, but I don't think he'll get the Saints job, but he certainly wants to be a head coach. And there's nothing wrong with that for all the people that want to pile on. Everybody has ambition. And if you don't, there's different stages of life. Vic has been through it. He doesn't want to do it anymore, and that's nice to have, but he's 66 years old. Kellen's a very young man. Wants an opportunity, just like Nick Sirianni, just like Shane Steichen, just like Jonathan Gannon. And remember, when things, as I just pointed out with the scapegoat, when things don't go well, they're going to fire your ass. And Kellen Moore had 3 number 1 offenses in Dallas and got fired.
Yep.
He got fired because Brandon Staley was a lame duck in with the Chargers, essentially fired. You know, so don't blame these guys when they go for that. But I think Nick is back into good graces, and I think the sense thing to do would just to elevate Kevin Patullo as the closest person on the coaching staff to Nick Sirianni. Those two are. That's been his right-hand man since day one, for people that don't know.
Yeah.
And now that he has this sort of gravitas, I think he can just move in the direction that he wants to move. You know, but we'll see. You know, he might be.
I think they'd go outside, John. They went last time they went inside, they collapsed, and it didn't work out. The 2 times they went outside, I mean, it worked.
Well, I don't. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just saying, first year with Kellen Moore, after Brian Johnson, and they're in the Super Bowl again.
I mean,
I know Brian was a scapegoat. I'm not trying to blame Brian.
I mean, technically, their offense was better last year than this year. Brian Johnson had the
matters, John, and they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I wrote about this, and it bothers me partially because I like Brian, and I admit that.
I do too.
They the number 8 offense in the NFL. And he didn't have Saquon Barkley. And he didn't have the number 1 defense. And he still put together the number 8 offense in the NFL. This year, they had the number 8 offense with Saquon Barkley, with the number 1 defense. Helping, To me, yeah, I don't agree with that sentiment. But that and again, they might go outside the organization. Kevin Patullo, he might be so important to Nick that he doesn't want to bog down into that.
Maybe.
And that changes. But if they want to go in that direction, I think he has the power to do it now. I don't think he had the power to do it last season.
That makes sense. I see exactly what you're saying. Johnny Mac, great stuff today, man. Great show as always. Your final thoughts as we now, John, will gear up for a 2-week run to the Super Bowl. And we are coming off a historic NFC Championship game where the team put up 55 points. Your final thoughts on today's show, brother?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, that's a good word for it. In so many different directions with Saquon Barkley, his historic season. Nick Sirianni, I kind of said, first coach in first 4 years, 2 Super Bowl berths, 4 playoff first in the Super Bowl era. So many firsts. This has been a historic team, an historic season, and they got one more hurdle, and it's the biggest hurdle of all, to stop the dynasty, to stop Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Man, that's what you live for. Biggest moment, biggest stage, biggest team. Go beat them. Go beat them.
Going back, the rematch is upon us. It's no more speculation. It is here, and I am ready for it. Johnny Mac, great show today, brother. We appreciate it. All of JAKIB Nation appreciates you. Great work yesterday covering the game. And here this morning on Birds 365. We'll talk to you again tomorrow morning. All right, brother?
All right. See you then. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Johnny Mac. There's John McMullen here on Birds 365. Excellent job by Johnny Mac yesterday covering the game. Excellent job today on the show. Love listening to Johnny Mac talk football. I say that every day. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I want to thank everybody for being here. Okay, what an amazing time this is to be a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, I tell all you guys, and I said it on the show last night in the postgame show, I'm most excited that we won yesterday and going back to the Super Bowl for the great people who are fans of this football team. I grew up in this city. I still live in this city. If you don't live here, you don't really understand it. And I know that's a cliche thing to say, but I really believe that. There's great football cities all over. There's great sports cities all over. Philadelphia is different. Philadelphia is different in the way that they root for, love, and care for their football team and for their sports team. So this is a big one, man. This is a big one for this city. I agree, Chonky. It's a way of life in Philly. It really is, man. And I said it. This is for all the people who, life ain't so pretty for them. And they love this football team, and that's their one outlet. It's for all of you guys who this is your hobby, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys all have lives and jobs and families and things to do. This is your hobby. This is the team you love. This is what you dedicate your time to willingly, not because you have to, not because you're getting paid money to do it, but because you love them. And I'm so excited for all the great people of this city who deserve this moment. And I really hope that the team can finish the job. I think they will. I really do. I did a recap show last night after the postgame show, just kind of prepping once we learned that the Chiefs are going to win, man. And I feel really good. I feel really good about this game. I laid out to you some of the differences between the 22 team. By the way, I'm not buying everything that John said about, we had James Bradbury who played all pro. I know he did, but he didn't have his best Super Bowl. He didn't. And I think Quinyon's an upgrade there. I think, you got Jalen Carter, obviously. You got the Jalen Hurts thing makes sense, but how good did Jalen play yesterday? I mean, that was 22 Jalen yesterday. Don't even try and tell me it wasn't. That was 22 Jalen yesterday. So I feel pretty good about where we are right now, man. This has been a lot of fun this year, and we got another one left. One more to go. See, before last game, it could have been one more, could have been two more. Before the game before that, it could have been one more, could have been three more, could have been two more. Now we got one left. That's it. We can only have one left no matter what happens. And in a way, that makes me a little bit sad. I've loved this season so much. My first year on the air, talking to you guys. Obviously, we've been around for 4 or 5 years, but I haven't been on the air for 4 or 5 years. I've been behind the scenes, and this has been easily my favorite season of Philadelphia Eagles football by a country mile of all my life. And that's because of you guys. It's because of the great people that we have here on JAKIB Sports. So I appreciate everybody for being here. I'm going to read off a couple other super chats that we got. I don't want to miss any of them. Sorry if I didn't read them to John. I know you guys most probably wanted me to read them to John. I apologize for that. Brian Garner says, John, I'm not a trash talker. It's the opposite. Going to be real silent. Brian's up in the D.C. area, I think he said. So, Brian, give him hell, brother. Give him hell. Shooter McGavin says, remember, John, in 22, Mahomes was on one leg. No, he wasn't. That was a Mahomes act, and you know it, Shooter. Mahomes loves to do that thing where he limps around. He was fine limping around on the field. That was the most Mahomes embellishment I've ever seen in my life. Come on, man, on one leg. Shooter, he wasn't on one leg. Caleb Brandon, wins are greater than passing stats that amount to nothing. Caleb, no doubt about it, brother. And here we are. Brink of the Super Bowl here. Abe checks in. Anyone else get a scare when Jalen Carter got hurt? Yeah, but Abe only missed one play, so it quieted very quickly. I feel fine about him now moving forward, so he should be good. Caleb Brandon, the offense being better last year is false. More passing yards and shootouts don't equate better. We was never in rhythm last year. First time in rhythm since 22 is Cleveland Browns this year. That's a fair point, Caleb. They weren't in rhythm last year, but John did bring up some good points. I mean, they didn't have Saquon, and they didn't have a number one defense. Caleb, how much easier is it to be in rhythm when you have a defense that's number one in the NFL giving up what did they give up, 15, 16 points a game this year? So, am I still connected, by the way? I just had a glitch on my computer. Let me make sure I'm still on here. Yeah, I'm still on. All right, my internet froze up again, but all right, here we are. I'm going to do a giveaway today. All right, and here's what I'm doing because I'm going to be so busy today. I'm not going to be able to do it today, but I am going to go and pick up more merch to give away on the channel. All right, yesterday we had our biggest super chat day in the history of JAKIB Sports on the postgame show. So if you contributed a super chat to yesterday's show, I can't thank you enough. I can't obviously read off all your names, but I appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you guys who did that. We had like 4 or 5 people give $100 super chat. Think about that. $100 super chat. That's wild. So thank you so much for those who did it. I know T. Will was one. Jason A-Team, I know you were one. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Dirty D, I'm pretty sure you dropped a 50 last night. We had a bunch of people. T-Bone gave a big hundo. So Matt, TK Washington, I think you gave a big one yesterday. So big thanks to all you guys. And we're going to be, this is my little bucket I use. And Prince, you've been gone for a month, man. You don't know what's been going on the channel, man. We're giving away stuff like hotcakes over here, Prince. So we're going to be giving away stuff. This is my tub, all right? This is my tub for Eagles merch giveaways, all right? At one point, it got empty. Okay? So I got to see. Now, I got another Legend jersey to give away. a lot of these jerseys are already given away. So I'll give you guys an update on who. Look at Man in Black. This guy is such a wimp. Man in Black, I love you, but you're a fucking wimp, dude. Why are we not acting like Zander didn't suck off Louvu and Daniels before the game? They're good players, Man in Black. What? Do you believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are the only team with good players? I mean, be a fan of football. Don't just be a delusional dumbass and come in here and make dumbass comments like that. Fucking stupid. I'm doing a show, brother. I got a job to do. What the fuck you talking about? Wait, did Frankie Louvu have a big sack yesterday that forced the Eagles to miss a field goal from 54? Answer that question, Man in Black. Answer that question. And if you can't answer it honestly, then never post another chat in the comment and never post another comment in the chat again. Fucking dummy. With that dumb shit. Get out of here with that dumb shit. I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit. Stupid as hell. We're analyzing the football game for 1 week, and Man in Black wants me to just freaking Louvu's dirty. Oh my God. He hit our quarterback in week 16. I don't give a fuck what he did. He's a good football player. He's a good football player. All right, here we go. Let me give you guys the updates. Man in Black, you know I love you, but get out of here with that dumb shit. All right, here we go. This is the updates, and everybody that I needed to make adjustments for, okay? I've made the adjustment for. A lot of you guys needed different sizes or whatever it was. So a couple people, I upgraded or whatever I did. So Chuck Hutton got your XL Saquon, all right? He won the Eagles hat. All right. He won the Eagles hat. But he wanted the he's one of our great viewers. So I upgraded him to a Saquon jersey. I got your Saquon jersey in XL, okay? Who else do I got? Devin Parker. I already saw your email last night, brother. So I'll work on that for you. I'm going back this week. As long as you're patient with me, I'll do that for you. But you're worked out with the 2XL. Who else do I got? Chris Albright. All right. I worked on yours. I'm still I have the salute to service for you, but I know you were iffy about that. So I'll email you again today, but everything's all worked out with the jersey there. Philly Don, I got your 2XL. Brian Pumper, I sent yours out last week. That should get there. Derek Elmore was one of our legend winners last week. He won. TK Washington was a legend winner. Cody K. All these jerseys will be sent today. Okay. All these jerseys will be sent today. All right. I got 10 things to ship out today. So I'm going to be spending probably at least an hour at the post office and UPS and FedEx and all these things. But I appreciate everybody. And that's the update. Everybody is good now. So we're up to date. Everybody else should be close or have gotten their giveaway jersey. I know I heard it from a bunch of you guys last week. So we'll see how it works. Look at this guy. Look at Man in Black. I like it because he chimes back in. I respect it. My God, what a softie. I was dead ass right on what would happen. I'm going to talk shit. Fuck you. Yeah, Man in Black, you were so right. Where were you right? What, in a YouTube chat box at 10:02 a.m. on January 16th? Okay, brother. Okay, Man in Black. I got a fucking job to do, brother. I got a job to do whether you like it or not. All right. Here's what we're going to give away today. Let me see what I got. All right. Remember, we were supposed to give away the Zach Bond jersey last week on Cilio, but then he had internet dropouts. So we never ended up giving away. So I'm going to give away the Zach Bond jersey today on the National Football Show. Okay. Look at Izzy B. Zander, do the giveaway already? No, this is Zander time. And you're going to sit and you're going to wait until I decide to pull the name. And if you don't want to sit and wait, guess what? You're out of here. Woo! If you don't want to wait, you're out. Flex, give him a you're out of here. Where's Flexing? Flexing, I need a you're out of here. Get him out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. All right, I got to work through all these jerseys. It's hard to manage all these jerseys. I'm telling you, it's a full-time job sending out your guys' giveaways. All right, there's Bond. I'm going to get that away on Cilio. What else did I get? Nope, that's Philly Don's. Philly Don, I'm sending yours today. Cooper DeJean, Black XL. Who was that? That was TK Washington. I got yours there. Boom. That's being ready to be sent out. 2XL Cooper DeJean. I can give this away. All right. That's ready to be given away. Cooper DeJean medium. Cody K. That's yours, brother. That is yours. What do we got here? Saquon Barkley XL. Who is this? This is Chuck Hutton. Chuck, there it is. Another Quinion Cooper, Black, and Kelly. This is to be given away. This is a legend giveaway. All right, we'll give that away to a legend. This is Derek Elmore, Black Saquon. Look at all these jerseys we're giving away. Look at all these jerseys we're giving away. Another Blake Black or Kelly Green Saquon XL. Who is this? Was this somebody? Let me make sure. Yes, this is somebody. All right, now we had a couple. I do have Quinions, okay, because the two people who won the Quinion jerseys, all right, needed different sizes. So now I have two Quinions to give away still. And watch, Man in Black will be Quinion. Okay, Man in Black. Okay, brother. All right, and another Quinion here in the back, in the packaging still. So I got two Quinions, and I'm going back. I already told you guys I'm going back. I got the legend giveaway, Cooper DeJean. I got a Cooper DeJean and Kelly Green, and I got Zach Ball, and we're going to do this on the National Football Show today. All right? So, Prince, you've missed a lot of fun on Zander time, brother. All right? You've missed a lot of fun. Where is Flexen? Did you give me my get him out of here? Yes. Here it is. All right? Izzy B, you get him out of here. Man in Black, get him out of here. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. All right, here we go. I'm going to give away today. I'm going to give away one of the Quinions. All right. And I'm going to do a legend giveaway today as well. Okay. So if you're a legend, I'm going to give away a jersey to you as well. And then the last thing we'll do today is we will do a JAKIB merch giveaway again. Okay. We'll do a JAKIB merch giveaway. I'd love to get somebody to make me a design for the Super Bowl. I'd love to get somebody to make me a design for the Super Bowl. All right. Oh, we got an upgrade to a legend. Izzy B upgrades to a legend. Dirty D checks in with $20. I'd be happy to sport the XL Quinion jersey. I'd take any jersey as long as it was XL. Well, then you wouldn't take any jersey. You wouldn't take any jersey. What a backhanded comment here. Let's go, JAKIB Nation. Best Eagle show on the planet. Dirty D, thank you, brother. Appreciate the super chat. All right, and the Quinions are largest. They're not XLs. All right, they're largest. But if you win it, I'll try and get you an XL. Okay, I'll try and get you an XL. And a big thanks to Izzy B for upgrading to a legend member. Izzy B, thank you so much. I appreciate your support of the channel. Means a lot to me. Means a lot to me. So thank you guys so much. I don't know. Is it just me? We got Izzy B. We got Bird Gang Girl. We got Diane. We got Catherine. I think the women here on JAKIB Sports are showing up more. All right. And Izzy B. Shout out to Izzy B. Ordered a Stout U hoodie as well. So good stuff. Man in Black. Love you, Zan. I love you too, pal. I love you too. Hey, listen, Man in Black, you came on the show before. So there's two sides to that. All right. I respect you more because you put a face to a name and you came up here and talked your shit. But now that means I'm going to give it to you. All right. I'm gonna clap back at you, man, if you're going to give me some shit. All right. So that's what that means. All right. Here's what I'll do. We'll do Quinion first. Then we'll do JAKIB merch. And then we'll do a legend giveaway. I'm going to do the Cooper DeJean, Black, and Kelly. Is Bob Brown in here? Is Bob Brown in here? Let me show you the link, by the way, for those who want to be a member. One sec. Wait, one sec. There we go. All right, here we go. Is Bob in here? Yeah, he's here. Bob's waiting for that Cooper. Bob's waiting for that Cooper. I got you, Bob. I see you, brother. Dirty D. Nobody would want to see me in anything smaller than an XL. I'll just looking out for the people. I respect it. No, I always say Dirty D. You know, I spend I spend hard-earned money on the merch. So as much as it's a pain in the ass when somebody wants to change out sizes or something, I would rather you ask me, because I don't want to send a jersey that sits in the closet. I mean, I'd rather send some stuff that you guys are going to wear. So I do ask everybody, is this something you're going to wear? Like our girl Texas T, one of our other great female viewers and members. Texas T, I appreciate you. I heard from you over the weekend. She won the 2 hats. Remember when I did the 2 hats? She won, and she's like, hey, I got big puffy hair, man. I can't wear a regular hat, but I do wear beanies. Can you send me 2 beanies instead of a beanie and a hat? And I was like, absolutely. I'd be happy to do that. So I want you guys to get used to it. That's the entire purpose of the giveaways. RMP, I need a large. Yeah, what sizes are you guys? Because I'm going back, all right? I got a lot of stuff to pick up this week. Man in Black with an upgrade. See, you give somebody shit and then they upgrade on the channel. Man in Black, that's cool, bro. I appreciate you. Man. I love you. Thank you so much for the support, and welcome into the Legends. By the way, the Legends are showing out, man. I think we're up to 40-plus Legends now. Remember, we got the 40 last week. I don't know if somebody canceled, so I got to check. But we are killing it on the Legends, so thank you so much. James M. checks in. Hey, man, I don't love Philly, but I'm one of the most diehard Eagles fans there is. We understand it. Y'all were born into it. We chose to give our being to the Eagles. That's some bullshit, James M. What the hell are you talking about? Look at James M. trying to make us feel worse for being an Eagle fan because we were born and raised in the city. Yo, James M., I love you, brother, but that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Man, that's some bullshit. What the hell? Catherine, if you want the small, I could get you the small, though. I can make it happen. Smalls are a little harder. I mean, smalls are, I guess, not as popular of a jersey. Although the women do, I have had some women ask me for some women's merch. So I got to figure that out. I could always order you the ironed on one in from Fanatics. They're not as nice, but if you'd rather wear that, I would do that. I would do that for the great people of JAKIB Nation. Tanner checks in. What's up, Tanner? Good to see you, brother. I appreciate it. Oh, I got a bunch of super chats I missed. Let me get to these. Zander, why didn't we run that offense all year? It makes no sense to me. That was unstoppable. You're right. That was 22 Jalen. Looked like an MVP again. I don't know, Tanner. We did what we needed to do to win each game, brother. We're 17-3 through 20 games, and we're in the Super Bowl. So while I hear you, while I understand, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter at all that the offense didn't look like this all year. It actually couldn't matter less, Tanner, that the offense didn't look like this all year, because they did what they needed to do to win each game. Jalen Hurts showed up when we needed him to show up. Kellen Moore called his best game of the year and the biggest game of the year. And now we're in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. So, again, I hear your point and I understand it. And I've talked about it all year, right? Haven't we on the show? What's going on in the passing game? What's going on here? It doesn't matter. It's all hindsight now, and it certainly doesn't matter as we are now staring a Super Bowl appearance in the face. Sig Lord, Luva was the only player on their team that gave a fuck. Yeah, that's why I like him. He's a hustle guy. Everybody loves to talk about he's dirty. Look, it's football, man. I had one dude who kept crying to me on Twitter. And Mike, I'm sure you're probably in here. Mike Mon or whatever his name is. He kept DMing me. He kept DMing me about, or not DMing me, just messaging me on Twitter. Luva is dirty. I'm like, dude, I don't care that he's dirty. It's football. All right. People are going to be dirty. People are going to hit hard. Back 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, Frankie Luva would have been, touted for his dirtiness. It would have been a positive. It's been legislated out of the game. All right. If you're like a legislation guy, that's fine. That's fine. Brian Pumper, my guy. Yo, Pump. Appreciate you, bro. Everything you've done. We appreciate you here. Can the black magic of the Superdome cancel out the black magic of the Queens? We better have our chicken and sage on deck. Brian, I feel good about it. Brian, you feel like we're going to win the Super Bowl? What do you think, Brian? I know you've been hard on Jalen Hurts all year. I should shut that fan off. It's giving a big thing back there. Dirty D, when Luvu kept jumping the snap on that tush push, I loved it. Yeah, we were playing him like a fiddle on that. But he wanted it, man. He wanted to stop it. Dirty D says, yay, Z, but it's also hard to have a number one defense when you turn the ball over 16 times like Jalen did last year. That's true. That's fair. I think they kind of go, is it a chicken or the egg situation? I don't know. If the defense was better, maybe Jalen wouldn't have had to throw the ball so much and maybe would have avoided some of those turnovers. I'm not really sure, but I hear what you're saying. James McBride, Super Bowl, fly, Eagles, fly, EAGLES, Eagles, JAKIB Nation, let's go. Oh, stuff's falling off my desk back there. EAGLES, Eagles, not ELGSES, Eagles. I'm starting to think maybe that the mayor gave us some good juju with that spelling of the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, who's joining? Is anybody else becoming a member? We had 2 legend upgrades today. 2 legend upgrades today. Here we go. I got to pull the list. Let me pull the list from the great people of JAKIB Nation. And this is wait, Caesar, I didn't see your super chat. Where is it? Caesar, I do not have a super chat from you. Am I missing it? Am I blind? Caesar, where was it? Oh, got it. Wow, why did that not get started? I don't know. I already know I'll miss this routine once the season is over. Go Birds, go JAKIB. Caesar, we go all through the offseason, man. So if you love the routine and you want to stick with it, I'll be here. I'll be doing shows all through the offseason. All through the offseason. Also, what is that? CLP. You said you were where? Where was Caesar? Caesar, where did you say you were? CLP. Joe Whip, my world traveler. What the hell currency is that? What the hell currency is that? All right, here's the link. Here's the link to become a member. Chile, that's right. He's in Chile. There you go. Chilean dollars, 10,900 of them. All right, just put the link in to join and become a member. So if you're listening and you're not a member, all right, click that, become a member here today on JAKIB Sports. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, all right, all week long. All week long. 2 weeks long, okay? Two weeks long. So we're going to be doing it live on JAKIB Sports, and we'll be doing giveaways, so get your money in. Miguel, I just shared it up. Need the link to upgrade, Z. I just put it in, brother. I just put it in. I can share it again if you need. All right, there it is again. Nate the Great. What's up, Nate? Zander, will you be on stream going forward in the future as well? I don't know what that means, man. I'm on stream every day. I'm here with you guys probably more hours than you guys could put up with me. Yesterday, we did a 4-hour postgame show, and then I ended and went live again to react to the Chiefs winning, which was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Halpin checks in. Dan Orlovsky said Kellen texted him saying this could be the best running game ever. That's why they changed the approach. Yeah, it could be. And easy. I think it is. I think it is. Devin Parker, my God. Devin, you were great on the show last night, man. Thanks for joining. Can't let them three-peat on us. Players need to rest up and coaches need to get to work. Wait, all right. And here's the other thing, Devin. Devin says we can't let them three-peat. All right, let me give you guys something that would not be good. If the Chiefs go three-peat and 2 of their 3 wins are on the Eagles in the three-peat, we will live in history forever on the wrong side of history. Okay? So we don't want that to happen. Yeah, Flex. We don't want that one. Okay? So we gotta stop this motherfucking three-peat. We gotta stop it. We must stop the three-peat. If we're 2 of the 3 losses, oh no. It's Brett becomes a member. Thank you. It's Brett. Welcome into the membership, brother. We'll be doing a lot of stuff. We'll be doing a lot of giveaways for the next couple of weeks. Zander, I didn't think about that. Curtis, I thought about that immediately. I can't help it. Maybe it's the glass half empty part of me. You know, I'm normally a glass half empty kind of guy. I see the beauty in life around me, the great people. I love life. I tell people that all the time. I love life. I love living life. I wake up every day happy with another chance to breathe the air and talk to the great people of JAKIB Nation. But the small part of me that's glass half empty did think about that right away. Boy, if you lose 2 of the 3, Ryan, life does not stink. Stop that shit, man. Life is beautiful. There's a lot of stuff that, obviously people deal with ups and downs in life, but overall, I think life is beautiful. All right, let me pull this giveaway. I know you guys are. Izzy B was crying 18 minutes ago. She must be really crying now. She thought upgrading to a legend member would speed up my process. I will use the word that Bob Brown used last night. Okay? Unflappable. I am unflappable. You will not get to me. This is Zander time, and I make the rules. I told you, this ain't no republic. This ain't a democracy. At JAKIB, this is a dictatorship. It's all right, Brett. I'm up to about $1,000 spent this year in shipping costs. Add it to the list, brother. You'll be what, $50? Where are you, Brett? Let me know where you are in the world. Again, somebody sent me a link to sign up, and you can go somebody sent me something where you can sign up and get shipping labels or something. I'm like, I gotta use that because I walk into UPS in the post office and they're like, you again with all this Eagles merch? I'm like, yes, me again. And I got more to give away. I got 10. I'm gonna spend $150 today shipping that stuff. At least. Tanner says, do you have to cancel the upgrade? I don't know why YouTube makes it so impossible to freaking upgrade your membership. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know why. I mean, the iPhones are brutal with it. Mac Main calls me an advertising genius. Mac, what do you mean? What do you mean, Mac? Advertising genius. Mac, on previous Zander times, I gave some people, not everybody knows, but some of the people know, of some of my backstory, all right, on me being entrepreneurial since I was 12 years old. Maybe even earlier than that. All right, so how much the down under? Brett, it doesn't matter how much it is, brother. If you win, Brett, I will send you whatever it is you want. It might cost me $50, but it's all right. Again, add it to the list, brother. Add it to the list, all right? Add it to the freaking list of shit. What's this? SmackDown. Thank you, bro. This is the guy with the 6C8. He was in here last week. Hey, Xander, I ship out car parts and stuff all the time. Best company to use is Pirate Ship. Very good rates and all carriers. Good stuff. Miguel, I love you, brother. Miguel, I got to get Miguel something. He is the longest standing member. He's correct about this. 30 plus months. 30 plus months for Miguel Lara, the longest member on JAKIB Sports. All right. Now, before I hosted, we didn't have very many members. All right. I think we had 30 or 40. That just kind of did it because they liked the channel. But the people that we had on previously on JAKIB, they didn't care about the community. This is my channel and my business. So I'm not saying, I think John and Celia love you guys. They care about you, but it used to be just kind of a network with shows, and there was no connection to who owned the channel and who ran the channel and stuff. That's a little bit different now. So we've gotten a lot more members. We used to have 30. Now we have 375. Okay, 375. So Sills definitely cares. Sills loves his community. So I wasn't really talking about Sills. I was talking about all the other shows that we've previously had where, All right, here we go. Let me pull this member list before you guys blow a gasket on Zander time. Now, before I pull a winner, here's what I want to say. All right, everybody in the chat. What thing are you most confident about for the Super Bowl? What area of the team? It could be a player, a coach, a scheme, offense, defense, special teams, offensive line, running back, Saquon, Nick, Jalen. What team what part of the team are you most confident about in the Super Bowl? And then, what part of the team are you most concerned about coming into the Super Bowl? So give me I see a lot of you guys giving me what you're most confident about. I appreciate that. And is this the real Joey Shakes? Joey Shakes, love your channel, brother. Appreciate you for being here. I'm not sure if it's really you. I can't see whether it's the real Joey Shakes or not, but I do watch your show all the time. You know that. I comment in there. So thank you, bro, for being here. Appreciate you. All right. Most confident, what do you feel best about? Same comment. All right. If you make two, I'm never going to get to them all. Most concerned about. Okay. So Catherine says, Saquon, what are you most concerned about now? All right. So give me what you're most confident about and what you're concerned about going into the Super Bowl. Philly Don says defense, confidence, and D-line. I guess you're saying both confidence there. Okay. Both confidence there. Jake the Shank got me nervous. Yeah. Jake Elliott is not good. Not good. Not good. Situational coaching. Is that a confidence thing? Most concerned about Chiefs defense. Good one, Josh B. They are a good defense. Catherine Boss, good one here. Says, worried about Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens. I don't want them hurt. I think they're going to be good. I mean, you see how gutsy those guys are, man. They are gutsy players, man. Joey Shakes checks in. Concerned, Jake Elliott, confident defense. Great one. Two great ones there, Joey Shakes. Look, I think they've proven, this defense has proven beyond the benefit of the doubt. They've earned the benefit, all right, in every scenario. How about yesterday? Zach Bond? I mean, dude, it's one thing to get the All-Pro. It's another thing to show up in an NFC Championship game and be the best defensive player on the football field. I don't remember. I think if Zach Bond had a better name, like I don't mean, but like I mean, if he was like a Fred Warner, they'd be talking about this season as a linebacker, like as an all-time season from a linebacker. But he didn't have the name recognition before, so now it's kind of like there's a little bit of a benefit of surprise there. So here we go. Denny Mertz, my guy Denny, appreciate you checking in. Worried about Jalen handling Spags blitzes. 2, who's going to keep up with Worthy? Casey has a lot of guys that can beat you and they run those crossing routes. Those are good worries. You know, Denny, this is a weird Chiefs team because they don't have one big player outside of Mahomes, right? They have Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, who's on kind of the tail end of his career. They have Hollywood Brown. They got Juju Smith-Schuster. They got Isaiah Pacheco. They got Kareem Hunt. Like, they have this collection of players that ultimately does enough to win games, but they don't have one big game-breaking player. So it's kind of a weird talent, but with Andy Reid, man, with Andy Reid, it works. With Andy Reid, it works. Curtis checks in. What's up, Curtis? Appreciate you, brother. Concern is Jake. Confident getting pressure, bringing 4. All right, I like that. Defensive line's been great all year. I think that Chiefs O-line is good, but not as good as they've been in the past. I know they had some injuries there. I got to check on where they are on the injury front. So I'll check on that and give you guys the update on that as we get closer to the game. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, everybody. 2 weeks to live in the history books forever. All right, I'm downloading my member list now. Big thanks to our new legends. Man in Black, Izzy B. Thank you, guys. That is dope. All right, here we go. Downloading the member list. All right, we're doing Quinion jersey first. We're doing JAKIB merch second. And we're doing a legend giveaway. The Cooper DeJean, Black and Kelly. All right. Now, let me ask you something. I can get these in white and Kelly. Is that something you guys would be interested in? A Saquon Barkley white and Kelly green with the letters, the numbers would be Kelly like this, and the black jersey would be white. That be something you're interested in. Yes. Okay, you guys like everything. They got all sorts of jerseys. Yes. All right. I'll get one of them. MJ says no. Some people just like the game jerseys. I'm cool with that. Oh, Tone had it on, did he? I didn't see that. Izzy B, we love free shit. That's everybody, Izzy B. Everybody loves free shit. As they should. Well, I love your support of the channel, everybody, so that's why I like to give back. All right. Big Dom Schiano. Look at this, Big Dom. Oh, Big Z with the best takes. Love you, brother. Love you, Big Dom. Are you the real Big Dom? Tell me Big Don stole your thunder. Tell me Big Don stole, or, Eagles Big Dom stole your thunder. You will now be referred to as the real Big Dom. The real Big Dom. Or maybe you're just using that name because of Big Dom. All right, here we go. I'm pulling up the list now. Random name. Quinyon Mitchell jersey first. It's a size large. Okay, it's a size large. Here we go. Exciting Whites jersey. For Real says, will you be getting merch with the 59 logo? I'm trying. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to do. I'll try, though. I got to figure out something because I really want that. I really want that. That's what I want. All right, here we go. Any new members that I missed? Oh, whoa, we got some super chats here. Halpin. Oh, I saw that one. Daniel checks in. What's up, Daniel? Philly, we are split a down year. We started 10. We are so spoiled. The down year, we started 10-1. That's so true. The worst year in the last 4 years of Eagles football. We started 10-1. Oh, man. We are living good in Philly. It's great. It's great. Hey, that all started, when Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni showed up. All right, so say what you want about these cats, but these motherfuckers showed up, and they're changing the narrative in Philly. Yo, Prince, thank you it's great to have you back, brother. It really is. One of our OGs in the chat. I love it. I love seeing Prince's name back in the mix as we now embark on a Super Bowl run. So, my guy, Prince, good to see you, brother. Love you. Appreciate you for being here, my man. All right, here we go. Got the member list here. All right. It's Brett. I'll be spending 100 beans to ship it to Aussie. Tyler, T-Bone, Dave Sports, Sam Mays, whatever it is. Scott, Anil, All Cards, Illuminati, Shooter McGavin. We got all of our great members. Who wants me to search their name? I'll search it. I will search your name. There's Man in Black. There he is. Dakota's in here. Izzy B's in here, our new legend member. Thank you. All right, let me kick the Grays. You guys want me to kick the Grays? I'll kick the Grays out. I will kick the Grays out from the chat. If you are a Gray, you're done. You're done. All right, members only. Sorry, everybody. If you're not a member, become a member. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, so it's worth your time. Work release program. Prince, whatever it takes, bro. I appreciate you being back. Whatever it takes, big dog. Whatever it takes. All right. Oh no, I didn't just Mac Main. Don't make me do it to you, brother. Zander stalling. I'm always stalling, bro. I'm always stalling. Here we go. Start. We got 382 members right now. All right. 382 members. Get them out of here. I love how he says Flex's voice, but it's really my voice because Flex just types it in the chat and then I say it. All right. All right, here we go. This first giveaway is for the Quinyon Mitchell jersey. Where is it? Where is it? Where is the Quinyon jersey? Here we go. Quinyon. It's right here. It's Kelly Green. All right? It's Kelly Green. And it's a beautiful jersey. It's a size large. See that? And you got your tags right here. NFL on-field apparel. All right. Brand new Quinyon Mitchell, Kelly Green jersey. All right. By the way, shout out to Q yesterday. How about that pick? How about that interception? That was a nice interception. Get him out of here, Flex. I love it. Flex coined that. Flex, you're notorious in the chat. We got a lot of famous JAKIB chatters, but Flex might be the top one. You know, Flex is one of those guys I get emails about. Why is your mom causing mayhem in the chat? I'm like, man, it's a freaking chat about Eagles sports. Relax, okay? Relax, people. Have some fun in life. It's all good. All right, 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Here we go. Quinyon Mitchell jersey. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Samuel Mays. Samuel, are you here? Samuel, are you here? Yes, it was Dakota with that Quinyon shirt on. Correct. Correct. Samuel, are you out there? He exists. I've seen him in the chat. I've seen him in the... See, you guys can't dupe me because I know my community. I know my community. Some people I can acknowledge are gifted and they're never in the chat. Samuel Mays is a chatter and a commenter. Get him out of here. Yo, Prince, I would take it you've been off your phone for a couple of months. Did you ever see the picture of Flexen and I? We met down at Chickies and Pete's right off Packer Ave. Did you ever see that picture? I might have to show you that picture. Is Samuel Mays here? Put the picture up. You want me to put the picture up of Flex and I? Let me find that pic. I got it on my phone. Flex, did I send you that pic? I got to send you that. Oh, I see your text, Flex. I'll respond to your text in a second, all right, when I get off the show. Is Samuel Mays? You guys tell me if you see Samuel Mays. You guys are good at letting me know. Philly Cat becomes a member. Thank you, Philly Cat. I will add you to the list, all right, when we do the pull again if Samuel Mays isn't here. I got to send you that, Flex. I'll send you it. Let me find this picture. The legendary Flex. I got it. It's right here. I love this picture. Great picture of Flex and I. All right, here we go. Philly Cat, thanks for becoming a member. Is Sam Mays here or no? All right. There we go. The legendary Flexen and Steppen is in the building. Boom. There it is. There's me and Flex right off Packer Ave down in South Philly. So the legendary Flexen and Steppen. So y'all won't get to me, all right, when you comment, oh, delete Flex. I'm like, no, Flex is my boy, all right? Flex holds it down in the chat. Oh, that's a good one, Lou. Lou, that's a good one, man. A 55 jersey. They're tough to get, but I might have to try and grab one of them, Lou. All right, here we go. We're picking a new winner. Samuel Mays, if you're listening, I love you. You're out of here. You're out of here, brother. Sorry, Sammy. Sammy Mays, you're done. Does he look like he's talking shit mid-pick? Yeah, I probably was. Nah, me and Flex. I love meeting Flex. All right, here we go. Start. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On John Gandhi. I don't know this one. I don't know this one. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I appreciate this guy for being a member, but I don't know who the heck this is. Is he in the chat? He will win if he's in the chat. Who? What the hell? Zander's burner. Man in Black, I promise you, man, I'm if I wanted to keep a jersey, I would just keep it. Philly Cat. Oh, wait. I didn't add Philly Cat. That's some bullshit. Philly Cat, you should have cried wolf. You should have cried wolf. Samuel May said, send it to me. No. All right, Anjan Gandhi's done because, oh, God. You got to be kidding me. All right, here we go. Who was it? Philly Cat became a member. All right, there we go. Focus, Zander. Joe Whip, you're telling me, bro. You're telling me. I know, man. Joe Whip, it doesn't help. I got chats coming in every second. All right, I got pictures of Flex. I got a computer here, and an iPad here, and a phone here. All right, everything is grabbing my attention right now. Everything is grabbing my attention. Zander fumbling. I ain't fumbling shit. Fumble. I never fumbled a day in my life. Fumble. You don't think I fumble, do you? Fumble. Look, get a load of this. Get a load of that comment. Start. Wait, I added Philly Cat, right? Yeah, I did. All right. You can tell my mind's all over the place. I didn't get much sleep last night, everybody. Went to bed at like 2:30. One shuffle. Two shuffles. Oh, three shuffles. Start. Bob Brown, my ADHD is my superpower, my friend. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lethon Mahia. I don't know if I said that right. Lethon Mahia? Lethon? The chat's going to love this one. Who the fook? I knew the chat would love this one. Get him out of here. Who thought? Swagger, by the way, Swagger, you don't mind if I share that picture up, do you? You don't mind if I share that picture up, do you? Wait, are they in here? I don't see them. Swagger, can I share that? Go ahead. All right, great. Not everybody likes to be seen on channel. Where is this? Oh, there it is. Great picture here. Great picture. Great picture from the great Swagger. All right. Swagger is rocking the JAKIB hat. Is Lethon in here or no? No. All right, here we go. You guys are going to have to live with my ADHD today. It is what it is. I'm on no sleep and the Birds are going to the Super Bowl. There it is. So if you zoom, let me zoom in on Swagger and show you guys his JAKIB hat that he's rocking. Okay. Look at the JAKIB hat on the great Swagger 57. The JAKIB hat, and that's in the building yesterday. And if I'm not mistaken, Swagger is undefeated at the link this year wearing the JAKIB hat. Undefeated at the link wearing the JAKIB hat. All right, so shout out to you, Swagger. Thanks for that great pick, brother. I love it. I love when you guys send me pictures. You know, we had a couple people down at the game yesterday that were sending me stuff. It was great. I love that stuff. I love that. All right, are we doing a new winner? No Lethon or Lathon, whatever it is. Wild Bear says, are you giving away stuff? What's it look like I'm doing right now, brother? Here we go. Any new members I missed? Nope. Boy, this is a lot. We're lacking on new members, man, from after an NFC championship game where we put up 55 points on the board. James should be getting his Jaden Daniels jersey. I feel better about ordering that now that we absolutely cremated them. Cremated them. All right, here we go. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. JB. JB. No more shufflers. Walmart, I'm going to do what I want. JB. JM. No, not JM. Not NAACP JM. Do I got to go to the Did I got to go to the green Kango? You think it's green Kango time? Where's my green? I got my green here. I'll go green next. I think JB was on here earlier, though. I thought I saw him today. I thought I saw JB in here. I'm giving him a second. JB's definitely real. I know JB. All right, we got a couple new members. David, thank you. And Luis, did I pronounce that right? You tell me if I'm wrong. Luis Felipe G. I like that name. Thank you for becoming a member, brother. I will add both of you guys in on the new giveaway. Is JB here? Luis, thank you. Got it right. Mac, man, you don't know a fucking JB, Zander. Stop it. You guys are hilarious. Mac, man, were you born in Philly, Mac? You must have been born in Philly. That's a Philly comment right there. You don't know a fucking JB. What are you talking about? All right, here we go. Oh, wait. Got to add my new members. We got David LaPrade Jr. David, thank you, sir. And we got Luis Felipe G. I love that name. Abe, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you pulled an Akbar on me. Or no, it wasn't that. Was it? Who was it that showed up? Ripping a keister, ripping a cig. James Jones did. I know the one time. I think Akbar's done it before too. All right, here we go. We still got 3 giveaways today. All right, nobody's won the Quinion jersey. I'm still doing JAKIB merch, and then I'm doing a JAKIB Legend giveaway. All right. Who wants me to search their name? All you turds that are crying about searching. Cody, there he is, Cody K. NS Wells says, am I in there? NS Wells, you're in there. The Sig Lord checks in. I smoke cigs in my sleep. Wild Bear, I'm sure you're in here. I'll check. Wild Bear. Not the... This is the greatest comment ever. Not the name search. Keith is hilarious. Rashid Mixon. There you are, brother. Rashid Mixon. He's in there. Primo. Let me check for Primo. Primo's in there. All right, I'm going green Kango, and we're gonna get a winner right now on Quinion Mitchell. All right. Let me go green Kango. Where's our new picker? Izzy B, why don't you make yourself useful and make it if you're going to cry about it all fucking day? If you're not, then sit down, shut up, and enjoy the show. All right? That's what I thought. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Not the name search. Start. Here we go. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Stephen Carp. Man, this green Kango ain't luck. Stephen Carp ain't going to be here. Stephen Carp, are you out there? Ah. Prince, the second fuck you of the day. Who's next? Who wants to try me next? Stephen Carp, are you here? Get him out of here. Yo, if we win a Super Bowl, I will be insufferable on this. I will be live like 18 hours a day. I swear to God. I will go live 18. I will be live 18 hours a day, bro. I swear. I'm going to go live all day if we win a Super Bowl. We're talking about it all year long. Oh, I'm excited, man. I'm so excited. I love the way football is set up. I love the way football is set up. Stephen Carp, are you here? All you clowns talking about me in the chat. Curtis, you wanted me to be insufferable last night. Here we go. All right, did we get any new members? No, David and Luis. Thank you both. Appreciate you both. All right, Stephen Carp, you're done. Start. This is for Quinyon Mitchell. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Cody, definitely we're going to do that. Bring fans on. For sure. For sure. Start. Maybe I'll do I'm going to do some weekend shows next week. I'm excited, man. I'm jacked up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keith, yes! Keith, you got to be in here. Come on, Keith. Come on, Keith. You weren't here last week when you freaking won, and I wanted you to win. Come on, Keith. Come on, Keith. Is he in here? Fake picker. It's a fake picker. It's a fake picker. He's got to be in here. He was here. I saw him. He's got to be here. Where is he? Come on, Keith. Keith Johnson. Keith, it is a close miss for you, my friend. This is a close miss for you, my friend. Come on, man. I know Keith is in here. He's probably rewinded or something. I know he's in here. He listens every day. Yeah, there he is. Woo! The first winner of the day. The first winner of the day. We'll have 3 winners today. All right, we'll have 3 winners today. And Keith is the first winner. Keith, talk to me, brother. Talk to me. I got a Quinyon Mitchell jersey in size large. Are you a large? Will a large work for you? Okay? This is a fresh jersey. Where's my guy, Keith? My Wi-Fi sucks. Plus, I'm in Alabama. One of my great Alabama brothers. I love it. Football is life in Alabama. Football is life. College football is life in Alabama. Yo, Keith, are you a Bama fan or you're not an Auburn fan, are you? You can't be an Auburn fan. Oh, I might rescind your giveaway if you're an Auburn fan. I'm just kidding. I won't. All right, Keith's our first winner. Keith, DM me, bro. Or no, I got you on Twitter. Let me make sure I got him on Twitter. Perfect. Rookie of the year. Does a large fit? If a large fits, then I'll send it out. All right. If it doesn't, then I'll try and work on another jersey. I'll take a postcard from Big Sales. You're not getting a postcard from Big Sales. You're getting it from me. All right. Enjoy it and shut up. All right. Fucking Big Sales ain't writing no notes to the great people. Sales ain't writing no notes to the great people of JAKIB Nation. You know, Twiz made fun of me for my love note. Twiz has his framed above his bed. All right. Size is perfect. All right, Keith. Yo, Keith, do me a favor, brother. Send me a DM on Twitter, okay, man? And if you don't want to send me a DM for whatever reason, boom. Zander at jakibmedia.com is my email, and I accept any emails from everybody, okay? I love reading. Bombay says, I read my note every morning when I wake up. I love it. I love it. El Yepa, I love it. I knew a couple people would like. I knew people would like them. Mine's hanging on the fridge. I love it. Big Z, I framed mine. Devin Shanahan had his on the wall. Let's go. The great people of JAKIB Nation they appreciate it, and I knew they would. See, I know my audience. The people in the chat who like to make fun of me. You're gonna give away love notes. No, I know my damn audience. All right. And I want them to know how much I care about them. Dakota, you'll be seeing yours when I send it out, bro. But you keep flopping jerseys on me, so I gotta go back for you. All right, here we go. Did we get a new member? I thought I saw one. No, we didn't. That's a shame. All right, here we go. The next giveaway is JAKIB merch. JAKIB merch. Here we go. Sweatshirt and a shirt. Sweatshirt and a shirt. Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Yeah, the American flag one's sick, Devin. I don't think everybody got an American flag one, but the American flag one's fresh. Start. Here we go. JAKIB merch. JAKIB merch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mad Dio. I love Mad Dio. I hope he's in here. I think he said something yesterday about something happened with his father. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mad Dio, I hope I'm right, but I thought I saw you comment down the postgame show because I normally have you on the, yes, a legend member. He's a legend member. Yep, he is. Keith Junios, I just got your DM. Thanks, bro. Dakota says, I was faded when I was on. I'm sure you were, Dakota. It was good talking with you. Is Mad Dio in here? He might be dealing with some family stuff. That stinks because he's a great member. Great supporter of the channel. I thought I saw it. Did he have a super chat today? No, he didn't. I thought he did. I hope everything's good with him too. I don't know. Listen, I'm not sure. We had like tons of comments coming on, but I thought I saw him in the chat last night say he wasn't real excited about the Eagles winning because I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I agree with all you guys though who say send it to him. So you guys are great people. I love that about all you guys. Send it to him anyway. Let him have it. Save it for him. Just give it to him. Hope he all is good with him and his father. So you guys are good people. Twiz, it's all my rules, brother. Twiz, brother, you like it or not. These are Big Z rules. All right. All right, I'll save it for Dio. I'll save it for Dio, all right? I'll save it for Dio. Let me see if I see Dio in the chat today at some point. That was Lucius the Show. Lucius the Show. So we were praying for him too last night. Love to see him get a win today. All right, next jersey is, oh, here he is. There he is. He's in here. Matt Dio, am I wrong about you with your family, brother? Is everything all good with everything you guys got going on over there? I might be wrong. I'm not even going to lie to you. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I hope not, because then I have everybody praying for you, and they, you know. But I'm happy that you're in here, man. I hope you're doing well. And congrats on the win. You get to pick a couple items from JAKIB merch, all right? And I'll send them out to you. And I'll even throw in an extra item for you. You can pick a hat too, all right? Sweatshirt, shirt, and a hat. How about that? Bob Brown says, don't ever doubt the green Kango. Bob, I never do. And although maybe I did earlier, but I didn't mean it. All right, congrats, Matt Dio. Okay, yeah, Sleepy. My dad passed last Saturday. Brother, we're praying for you and your family. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm obviously blessed enough to still have my father around, and I'm very close to my father, so I can only imagine how hard that is for you to go through. Your support here is much appreciated. And whenever you can, man, reach out to me. Reach out to me, and I'll send you your merch, all right? However long it takes you, it's all good. Okay? So I just sent you my email, Dio, in the chat. It's Zander at JAKIBmedia.com. Like I said, I like when all of JAKIB Nation emails me. Okay? That's a pause, but we won't go there. All right, that's a pause, but we won't go there. I'm praying for you, brother. I'm praying for you, and I appreciate you. All right, next is the JAKIB Legend giveaway. And then remember, we're going to give away a Zach Bond jersey on the National Football Show with Big Sills. I don't know what time he has me on today. I think he has Angelo at 3:30, so I'm not going to be on at 3:30 like I normally am. All right? I'm not going to be on at 3:30 like I normally am. Why do y'all make me laugh at such inopportune time? Woo! All right, who's upgraded to a legend? Who's upgraded to a legend? Park, that's what I'm trying to get the most. I'm trying to get Jalen Carter the most. Coop. Black and Kelly Green. Coop. All right, here we go. A legend winner. This is the same jersey TK Washington won last week. I got another one over the weekend. They're hard to come by. Oh, wait, let me write down my winners or else I'll forget. I got to send out like 10 things today. Howard Nolte, I saw your message. Thank you, bro. TK Washington. Dakota, I got to work on you. Wait a second. Dakota, now I see what you were saying. I mixed up you and Devin. Wait a second. Did I fuck this all up? Oh, my God. I messed up. Dakota, I mixed up you and Devin. That's what I did. My bad. I see what happened. Dakota won JAKIB merch. And I think I told him I was giving him a jersey. Yeah, I'm fumbling. You're right, Izzy. I didn't get enough sleep. Although I don't need a lot of sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Here we go. Let me pull the legend list. Gotta pull the legend list. Holy shit, it's 11:16. Holy shit, it's 11:16. All right, where are my legends? Sig Lord, I only have what YouTube shows me. I don't like make spreadsheets now. Current level, legend, apply. We have 43 legend members. 43 legend members. Thank you all. All right. And unfortunately for you, Dakota, my bad. You got the JAKIB merch. I don't know what the fuck I was saying to you, bro. I don't know what the hell I was saying to you. My bad. My bad. All right, here we go. All of you members are done. You're deleted. Legends. All right, let me do this here. All right. Jason A-Team, our first legend member. Shout out to A-Team. Jason A-Team. Brian Fleming. Yes, I have to type all these out because they change every day and it won't let me download a list of them. And I put a list in my notes, but it now half of them are gone and then I have to scan the list. Just work with me, all right? You're on Zander time and you're going to live with it. That's what's going to happen. Dirty Date, Bob Brown, Jay Ronamu, Matt Dio, Derek Elmore. All right, if you already won a jersey from the Legend giveaway, if you win this, I'll give you JAKIB merch, and I want another person to get a jersey, okay? So that's how it's going to go. Philly Don. So for the people who have won a Legend giveaway jersey, like Ronamu, I know won a jersey. Derek Elmore won a jersey. Dirty Air won a jersey. If you win, I'll give you something. Just I don't want to send you another jersey. Philly Don 2-3. Maybe I will. I don't know. Whatever you want. I'll talk to you about it. Brandon Howard, the Legend. John Glisson, Legend. Big C. I love Big C. Legend. Dirty Air. Legend. CT. Philly fan. Legend. Vulnerable Vitality. Legend. I love that name. I always say that. Tyler Braswell. Legend. Tyler, thank you, sir. He ordered some JAKIB merch over the weekend. Crowley. X26. A lot of you guys, by the way, have been ordering some JAKIB merch. I love it. Thank you, guys. Josh B. The Legend. Chris A.M. The Legend. Appreciate you, Chris. Caesar Campos. The Legend. Thank you, Caesar. William Stark. Oh, Stark. Thank you, William. SB Ricky. Thank you, SB. Chip Snyder. Thank you, Chip. Where are we at? 83 Rainy Boy. He's all one word. Here we go. Who else? TK Washington, who won a jersey last week. So if he wins today, he'll be getting merch, and then I'll give out the jersey to somebody else. Chris Albright. Clary Voy. Philly Birds and Beers. Marcus Padilla. Kenny Sprague. Kenny, what's up, bro? Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys who are legends. Howard Nolte, a legend. Thank you, Howard. Chad Whitaker, my California kid. Or no, Colorado kid, excuse me. Appreciate you, Chad. Mad Bird, my guy. Appreciate you, Mad Bird. Jay Parker. Appreciate you, Jay Parker. Macalia, who became a legend last week. Macalia, thank you, sir. Macalia 86. David Esch. Thank you, David Esch, for your support. I appreciate it. JT Philly. Thank you, JT. Who else we got? Schmidt Digler. I love that name. Favorite name probably on JAKIB. Matt NG. By the way, for the Legend giveaways, you don't have to be present, all right? You do not have to be present to win for this. If your name gets called, you'll be the winner, okay? Man in Black. Thank you, Man in Black, for upgrading your membership. Lucius, The Show, and Izzy B. Well done. There we go. All right, there's 43 Legend members. There they are, the great people of JAKIB. Yes, in manual mode. In manual mode. You ever heard of cut and paste new technology sweeping? Yo, asshole. You think if I could do that, I would do it? No, it doesn't work like this. Mac Main, thank you, bro. $50 super chat. You know what I'm going to do? Because I can't gift a Legend. They don't let you. Mac Main, that's going to go to the giveaway fund. So I'll add it to what we made yesterday on the super chats, and I'll use it to help get another jersey for the channel. All right? How's that, Mac Main? How's that? Unfortunately, I can't gift a legend, but I'll add Mac Main to this. Okay. He deserves to be in the legend drawing today. He deserves to be in the legend. You guys are cracking me up, man. Yeah, seriously. Yo, asshole. Or yo, ass Jack. I used to say that when I was younger. Yo, asshole. No, YouTube gives me a list of names. You cannot copy and paste it. It has like name, how long they've been a member, total time as a member, and then the total time on their level, and then what level they are. Okay, so I can't. It's not like that. Dorks. Look at Bob Brown. Fucking dickhead. Thinks I don't know how to use control. And by the way, on Mac, it's command. It's the command button. Bob. Fucking ass Jack. Start. Here we go. For the great legends on JAKIB Sports. I love you all. 44 of you. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Start. Here we go. What do we got? 3, 2. Brandon Howard. Woo! I love Brandon. Brandon Howard. Is he here? I would love for him to be here. I would love for him to be here. Brandon's in the chat like every day. He might not be here right now. I think he's in Canada. Oh, great. How much is it going to cost me to ship to Canada? All you international MFers. What are you guys crying about, Apple? Oh, my God. Ew, Mac. All right, John. I don't know if Brandon's here, but yo, Akbar, you're not crying about technology again, are you? Akbar, don't do it to me, bro. Don't do it to me. Don't make me sound off again. Yeah, Apple's goated. Look. Apple MacBook. I got a desktop here. I got the Mac Studio. Apple keyboard. iPad. iPhone. Okay. All right, Brian Howard's not here. That stinks because he's normally always here for Zander time especially. So, Brandon Howard, congrats on your win. Let me write down the other member. All right, so we had who won today? Mad Dio won JAKIB merch. Okay. Keith Junios won the Quinyon Mitchell jersey. And Brandon Howard won the Legend giveaway. All right, that's going to do it for the giveaways today, everybody. Akbar's still crying about the technology. It was a joke. Well, Akbar, is it my problem that I didn't get it, or is it your problem that you didn't explain it good? I don't know. You tell me. Dirty D. I had my neighbors 4 houses down lighting fireworks till 3 a.m. last night. I was pissed about it. A bunch of drunk Chiefs fans. 6:30 came way too early. Yeah, they were lighting fireworks off by my crib, too, for the Eagles. Keith, you ever heard of cut and paste? New technology sweeping the nation. Keith, you're just a little smart ass today, aren't you, sir? Hey, you're just a little smart ass today, aren't you? Josh B, see, you're not that well. I understand that it is a cult, and now I'm so ingrained in it, it's impossible to get out of it. But I will say this camera right here is a Google Pixel phone. I had the Google Pixel for a while because I worked on YouTube so much. So I was thinking the Google phone would probably be integrated with YouTube really well. It wasn't really. I mean, it was okay at best. At best. Ray says, Bob and Akbar were pissed you pulled the tech card, Z. That's hilarious. No, Bob doesn't have tech issues. I don't think so. Yeah, Bob's good on the tech. It's Akbar. Yo, Prince. Fuck you, Prince. Where have you been for the last 2 months? You think you can just fucking leave and come back here, Prince? The fuck, Prince? I'm just kidding, Prince. All right, everybody. I appreciate it. Great show today. The Philadelphia Eagles are NFC champions. All right, we're NFC champions. That feels pretty good to say. But we've been here. This ain't new. All right? We've been here, and this is not new. Okay, we did this 2 years ago. All right, it's great. It's great. I'm excited. But the job is not finished. The job is not finished. They got one more game to live in the NFL history forever. Or I gave you guys the other side. Or if we lose, that's going to be 2 of the 3 super losses to the Chiefs in their three-peat. So when they're writing the ESPN 30 for 30s or whatever the hell they do, and the NFL films is of the Chiefs three-peat, we would be 2 of those losses. We can't let that happen. Guys, we cannot let that happen. Let me call my guy Jalen Hurts and talk to him. Yo, Jalen. I need you, big dog. We need you, big dog. All right. That's going to do it for the show. I got some work to do. Boy, am I behind. Boy, am I behind on my work now. But anyway, I appreciate all you guys. Great show today. Great win yesterday. If you're a Jalen Hurts hater, I don't want to hear from you. If you're a Sirianni hater, I don't want to hear from you. If you're M. Reyes, congratulations, because your score prediction was finally in the ballpark after 18, 19, 20 weeks. Well done. Keith, congrats on the win. Catherine, great to see you in here. Appreciate you, Catherine. I saw your email last night. Catherine, didn't get a chance to answer you yet. I will today. Izzy B, thanks for being in here. Thanks for upgrading to the legend. Who else upgraded to a legend today? Man in Black, appreciate you, bro. You got my first fuck you of the day. I think it was you who got the first FU of the day. Who was the second FU of the day? I forget. Man in Black. Who else? Who else earned an FU today? Izzy B? I think it might have been her. Might have been Izzy B. Yeah, Izzy was. I knew it was Izzy. All right, good stuff. All right, a lot of fun, everybody. Great show. Bird Gang Girl, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you. Great show. Hey, appreciate you, dog. David, thanks for becoming a member, man. I appreciate it. TK, what's up, bro? Thank you for being here. I'm sending out your Coop jersey today. I think you got the Coop, right? Yeah, you did. I'm trying to remember everybody off the top of my head. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. See you next time on Birds 365. That'll be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. See you next time.
You've been listening to Birds 365, the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, we're talking about it. Debate inside the locker room and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.